It is an absolutely gorgeous November Saturday in the Mid-State and a perfect day for the tailgate and for college football as Willie Simmons and his Florida International Panthers come to the Borough to take on Middle Tennessee. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Floyd Stadium with Jeremy Kellum. I'm Jake Rose. Thanks for hanging out with us on a Tennessee Saturday afternoon here in the Borough. Let's start with FIU. Jeremy, coming off a really tough loss on the road last week against Missouri State, in which Kewan Jenkins, their starting quarterback, did not play in the fourth quarter. Joe Poznansky took over, and we're expecting him to get the start here this afternoon as well.
Yes, Joe Poznansky came in relief for the Panthers last week, threw a touchdown pass, and I think that the coaches feel confident about him starting. Nick Coleman, the offensive coordinator, said they believe Joe will make a great coach one day, but even more so, I think they believe that he will make a great starting quarterback today for the Panthers and give them a great chance to get another win and get closer to becoming bowl eligible.
Poznansky, a second-team All-Patriot League selection last year at Holy Cross, has his hands full today against this Middle Tennessee defense. This is rounding into form, but Middle Tennessee just 1-7 this year, Jeremy. They have dropped 5 straight ball games, but man, those last few games, they've been so close. Last 3 games decided by just 8 points.
Yes, Coach Mason talked about this being spoiler season, ski mask season, coming off of Halloween and just wanting to spoil it for the rest of the teams that they go against. And we know, Coach Mason, the team is getting better. They're more competitive. You can see that with the scores, but the Blue Raiders have to find a way to win the close games in the fourth quarter, and that's going to start with Nick Vadiato and the whole entire Blue Raider team playing as one in all 3 phases.
So Middle Tennessee will receive the opening kick. An absolutely perfect day for college football here in Murfreesboro. Clear blue skies. Temperature 69 degrees here at kickoff. FIU 3-5, 1-3 in Conference USA. They are currently 8th. Middle Tennessee 1-7 and 0-4 in Conference USA, looking for their first Conference USA win on the season as DJ Taylor and Cam Lacey are back to receive for Middle Tennessee. Noah Grant, the senior from Eads, Tennessee, puts his foot into it, and we're rolling from here in Murfreesboro. Kick taken at the 5-yard line. And DJ Taylor brought down before he's able to get to the 20. And Middle will take over on their own 17-yard line. And that'll bring out Nick Vadiato and the Blue Raider offense. Vadiato making his 33rd straight start for Middle Tennessee.
And I think if you're Nick Vadiato and Coach Reeder, the offensive coordinator, you just want to have positive plays on first down so you can stay ahead of the sticks and allow yourself to have manageable second and third downs all game long.
Middle Tennessee's offense averaging just 18.9 points per contest. That is 123rd in college football this year, 11th in 12-team Conference USA. Vadiato throwing on first down, lofting one, far side. And was looking for A.J. Jones, wide receiver from Ontario, Canada, the transfer from Arizona. Middle Tennessee rocking the red, white, and blue stripe and the American flag logo with the MT on the side of their helmets for their annual Salute to Service Day, honoring all the veterans and service members. One of the great annual traditions here in Murfreesboro as Vadiato has second down and 10 against this FIU defense. Going far sideline again. This time it is caught. And that is Najee Cox, the leading receiver for Middle Tennessee.
And right there on back-to-back plays, the FIU defense changing it up. First they went man, and that was a great pass break up by Mr. Clark, their nickel back. And right there throwing a little change-up going zone on second down.
Mr. Clark, M-I-S-T-E-R, that's his name. And he is arguably the best slot cornerback in Conference USA as it's third down for Middle. Vadiato on the rollout, and they are going to be well short of the first down as Middlebrook might have just gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And it's now 4th down and 7.
And what a great job by FIU, playing solid in the secondary. 3 pass attempts by the Blue Raiders, and the Panthers were able to stop the Blue Raiders and keep them from even gaining 10 yards on 3 throws. So great first drive by the FIU defense.
So Ashton Logan is out, one of the busiest punters in Conference USA, averaging 44.5 yards per kick. As FIU is without their starting return man. So back to take the punt. Was McGuire Anderson, as Saquon Jean-Pierre did not make the trip for FIU. He is out with an injury. And so now we will see the FIU offense take the field with backup quarterback Joe Pizanski making his first start for FIU.
And just looking at the last game against Missouri State, when Joe got in the game, he was confident. Drove him down the field, touchdown pass. So I think that Nick Coleman feels very comfortable having him at the helm right here for the Panthers to start this game.
All-Patriot League selection, second team a season ago for Holy Cross. He will hand off on first down. As Keyshawn Owens, the running back, with his first carry. The leading rusher in Conference USA this season, just under 900 yards. Was held to a season-low 63 last week against Missouri State. The Bears loading up the box to slow down the run. And you got to think that's the blueprint here today for Middle Tennessee's defense, as Pizanski rolling out on second down, has a receiver on the far side of the field.
And you see the strong arm right there by Pizanski rolling to his right, throwing a dart right there, getting them into a third down and short right here. Nice throw by Pizanski.
And that's the Panthers' leading receiver, Alex Perry, 29 catches, 3 touchdowns this year for FIU. Easily the #1 option this year for the receiving core for the Panthers, as it is 3rd down and 1 for FIU. Handoff, right side, first down, and plus a little more for Keyshawn Owens.
And that's a great first down pickup right there on a 3rd down and short, just simple. Give the KJ right there. And FIU Panthers offense seems like they're finding some rhythm right here.
So 1st down and 10 for FIU. In Middle Tennessee territory, Pizanski. Play action, stepping up in the pocket, taking a shot deep downfield. And off the helmet of the defender. He was looking for Alex Perry. Abdul Muhammad was in coverage, and I think that went off the top of his gourd.
Yeah, that was off the dome right there. A little freestyle rap. Great job by Abdul Muhammad, running stride for stride. Not panicking like you see a lot of DBs when the ball is in the air, but just played the hands, and that was a heads-up play. Pun intended.
So 2nd down and 10 for Pizanski. Redshirt senior, 6'4", 220 from the Tampa area. He's going to hand off. Owens up the middle, pick up a few.
And you can start to see a little bit of the play calling rhythm by offensive coordinator Nick Coleman. Hit him with the run game, then try to hit him deep. Now back to the run game, get yourself in a manageable 3rd down right here.
So 3rd down and 7 now for Pizanski. And it looks like we've got an injured Panther, and a flag is down as Antonio Tripp Jr., the right guard, the starting right guard and transfer from Miami, is down.
Injury timeout, FIU, they're first.
So first timeout being charged against FIU with 10:59 to go. Ball is on the 44-yard line. You see Tripp just get rolled up on from behind after the play, as he is hobbling towards that FIU sideline. Now, the good news for FIU is there's a lot of depth on this offensive line. They'll have a 6 to 7 man rotation. Flournoy and Cedeno will often come in for long stretches at a time, for a series or two at a time. So there is depth on this Panthers offensive line to cover up for an injury.
No, you're right. You never like to go to your depth, but it's always good to have, especially when you need it. But you never like to lose a starting offensive lineman, especially when your bread and butter is the run game. So we'll see how FIU is able to adjust.
3rd down, 7, Pisanski. Flag is down to the backfield. Pisanski showing off the wheels, picks up the first down, but the flag in the backfield will have to check on. Back of the 50.
Hold it. Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
That's Daniel Michelle, the starting right tackle from Fort Lauderdale, one of 80 players on this FIU squad from the state of Florida. And you got a big old smile on your face because there's also a lot of Miami kids on this roster, more than 20 from the direct Miami area, I guess you would say, South Florida.
Yeah, South Florida. You know, I'm from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, so, you know, but all of that is the crib, so definitely love to see Florida players play, man.
And a lot of guys on this roster that are from the Miami area that had originally committed to other schools. His 3rd and 17, Pisanski, as that is dropped, wasn't going to go anywhere as Alex Perry took it off the shoulder pads. But a lot of players from the Miami area that had played at other schools and then transferred back to FIU to become Panthers, be closer to home.
Yeah, you talked about how Coach Simmons said that is his strategy, his recruiting strategy, that you go get a lot of Florida players or you pursue a lot of Florida players that played at the bigger schools, the Power 4 schools, the Miamis, the Florida States, who want to come back home, but they can play at another Division I school such as FIU.
Trey Wilhoit from Tallahassee out to punt. End over end kick, fair catch called for. And Middle will take over from their own 10-yard line when we come back. 10:23 scoreless here in the first. There's a look at Derek Mason, his second season running the show here in Murfreesboro. We mentioned at the top of the break, Middle on a 5-game skid. But Jeremy, outside of Marshall, those games have been so close. Very winnable. A couple of those games, Middle Tennessee had leads in the fourth quarter, but just couldn't bring it on home.
Yeah, I think as a team, right, you want to learn how to compete, but then once you start competing, you got to learn how to win the close games, and that's what we're seeing MTSU try to do.
Middlebrook on first down is going to be just shy of the first down. Middlebrook has really come alive in both the run game and the passing game for Middle Tennessee. He is the leading receiver for running backs in all of college football this season with 32 catches.
Yes, man, he is a 3-down back, and I was talking to the safeties coach for FIU who recruited him while coaching here at MTSU, and he just talks about how amazing Jaquel Middlebrook is, and we see it game in, game out.
They go right back to him. He's going to be close to the first down and should have it by about a half a yard. So first down on the afternoon for Middle Tennessee. And this is an offense, as we said, has struggled this year. They came in with high hopes. They were hoping to average about 35 points per contest. They have not reached the 30-point mark this season. In fact, they have not done so since week 1 of last year against FCS Tennessee Tech.
And I think it's just not having success on first down. And we seen on this drive, 7 yards on first down, then you run 3 yards on second down, you got a first down.
Battiato feeling the pressure, rolling out to his left, will just loft it out of bounds. And to your point, Nick Battiato told us that this week when we talked to him. He said, hey, the big things for us for the rest of the year have been, hey, we got to do better on first downs, and we've got to get into a lot more third and manageables, and we've got to convert those third downs.
You're right, because they're struggling to have explosive plays in the air or on the ground, and so they're having to drive the field. And the more plays you run as an offense, the greater the chance you're going to have a penalty or a turnover. So MTSU must have success on first down, and they have to have explosive plays to cut down on possession.
Middle going 4 wide on 2nd and 10. Check down to the slot receiver is Cam Lacey. He is spun down after a pickup of about 15. So Middle moving the chains on 2 of the last 3 plays.
And Cameron Lacey has been a bright spot for this Blue Raider offense the last few games.
And a flag is out on first down, as officials will congregate. Today's referee is Rory Bernard.
False start. Offense. Number 72. 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's Jacob Otts, starting left tackle, graduate, transfer from Rhode Island. And this is a Middle Tennessee offensive line that had really kind of been hampering the offense in terms of the number of penalties, but they've cleaned it up a lot the last couple of weeks. Just 2 holding penalties in the last couple of ball games.
And I think that's what's been frustrating with Coach Mason. He sees the penalties as far as holding being cleaned up, but still not getting the results on the scoreboard.
Battiato to throw on 1st and 15 has Najee Cox. He gets close to a first down and close to midfield on 2nd and 15. It's called a pickup of 12, so it's now 2nd and 3. Middlebrook in motion for Middle. They hand off. Middlebrook up the middle has another first down, and Middle Tennessee starting to move the ball on this drive, Jeremy.
Yeah, that was a great play design by offensive coordinator Coach Reeder, having Jaquel Middlebrook start off in the slot, knowing it was a traditional run play all along, but motioning him to the backfield, being able to play with the eyes of the linebackers, and being able to pick up that first down right there.
Battiato looking over the middle, looking downfield, in stride, it's Middlebrook. Touchdown, Middle.
That's what it's all about. You don't call plays, you call players. And when Jaquel Middlebrook is your best offensive weapon, you put him at slot, you put him in the backfield, you let him run routes out of the backfield, and that's what they did right there, getting them on a mismatch with the linebacker straight down the seam. As you can see, back in Florida, blue, you see it all day into pay dirt right there, Jaquel Middlebrook.
And how about the throw from Nick Battiato? Perfect. Just floating it. The Henry Rowan Gardner floater. as Hathaway puts through the extra point, and Middle strikes first. 7 plays, 90 yards, 2 minutes, 51 seconds. Jakail Middlebrook, his second receiving touchdown this season. Middle on top at home.
The best traditions set a standard, a belief fueled by grit, revolutionary smarts, and a clear vision for winning. Because a strong tradition makes fans of us all. Get 3.9% financing for 72 months, plus $2,750 bonus cash on F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
No matter what brings you in, a fever, the flu, or a last-minute injury, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
This is where your ambition takes flight, at a top-ranked research university in the heart of Miami. This is where we crush cancer, explore oceans, and pioneer sustainable solutions. This is where we push limits and challenge conventions, where tomorrow's leaders make their mark, studying storms, building resilience, and driving impact. This is where you harness your potential and grow unstoppable. Step into the future at Florida International University.
You'll always win when you choose Murfreesboro Hyundai. Whether you're scoring a great deal on a new vehicle or bringing your current ride in for quality service, our team is committed to going above and beyond, so your experience is seamless and stress-free every time. That's better than a touchdown. From competitive pricing and flexible financing options to exceptional customer service and transparency in every interaction, we're cheering you on. You can trust us for all of your automotive needs.
Come see us at Murfreesboro Hyundai and discover the experience you deserve.
One of the best drives for Middle Tennessee this season, 7 plays, 90 yards, 2 minutes, 51 seconds. Jakail Middlebrook over the middle, out of the backfield from Nick Vadiato, as Vadiato has his 14th touchdown pass this season. Middlebrook, his second receiving touchdown. And Middle out and front on the Salute to Service Day game. And looking for their first home win this season. Kick taken at the 5 by FIU and getting roped down at the 16-yard line. As Devontae Lyons, running back again. FIU without their all-conference return man, Saquon Jean-Pierre.
We'll see if the Panthers can respond right here with their own drive, ending in some points.
You're just joining us, Joe Pisanski getting the start for FIU today. Kewan Jenkins listed as questionable after suffering a groin injury last week against Missouri State. Did not play in that fourth quarter. Joe Pisanski came in, played well, threw a touchdown pass, and this week they split the reps, but Kewan was limited. But Willie Simmons not expecting this offense to miss a beat with Pisanski under center. And officials will blow this play dead. 2nd down and 10.
Encroachment. Offense, number 0. Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So that's Dallas Payne, the tight end. And you and I are kind of looking at each other. I'm not sure I've ever heard encroachment on the offense before.
Yeah.
Or lined up in the neutral zone. It would just be...
Normally it's offside.
Yeah.
Or false start, I should say. But
okay.
But that's, if you're the Panthers, that's not what you want. You cannot afford to have, we have your backup quarterback in, try to stay ahead of the sticks. And right now they're behind.
Second down and 15. Deep in their own territory. Pazanski to throw against a 4-man rush. Had to get rid of it quickly. Check down to a receiver across the middle. And that is McGuire Anderson, the transfer from BYU, the Eagle Scout from BYU.
And what we seen the Blue Raiders do today, and even they did it last week against Jack State, they are tackling very well. So even if the Panthers complete a pass, the defenders from the Blue Raiders are right there to secure the person and make the play, preventing yards after the catch.
So now 3rd down and 8 for the Panthers. Ball on the 21-yard line. Another 4-man rush from middle. Line breaks down. Pazanski across the middle. And a nice stand from the Middle Tennessee defense. Reggie Johnson, defensive end, having a big year for Middle Tennessee, putting the pressure on Pazanski to force another 3 and out.
And what a great job right there by the Blue Raiders defense, getting pressure, putting the Panthers in a predictable 3rd down, knowing that they have to pass, and was able to get home to effect the throw by Pazanski. And another stop for the Blue Raiders defense in this first quarter.
Middlebrook back for Middle Tennessee to field the punt as Will Hoyt is out for the 2nd time today. High kick spiraling, sending Middlebrook back to the 28, and he is popped as soon as he caught it. Great downfield coverage from FIU.
It was Brian Blaze II showing his versatility, making plays at the cornerback position, but also being able to show that he can run down on kickoff, being able to showcase his talent to some NFL scouts potentially.
Yeah, Brian Blades II, obviously coming from South Florida football royalty, the Blades family. As Middle Tennessee 1st and 10 on their own 30. Vadiato going to do a screen pass far side. It's Miles Butler who's going to be close to the 1st down on that FIU sideline.
And once again, the Blue Raiders finding success on 1st down, which then opens up the playbook for Coach Reeder to be able to dial up something, maybe take a shot, because here you go, 2nd and 3. You know, hey, potentially you can run for on 3rd down if it's only 3 yards, so you might take a shot right here.
2nd down, short. Vadiato flushed out of the pocket. Checks down, a flag is down. That's off the fingertips of DJ Taylor, the freshman running back. We'll have to check in on the flag down at about the 35-yard line.
Holding. Offense. Number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. 2nd down.
That's Mateo Guevara, one of the veteran returning linemen for this Middle Tennessee offensive line.
And this is what Coach Mason was talking about, that you have success on 1st down, you put yourself in a manageable down and distance, and then you have a penalty. Now you're behind the sticks. And this is what kills drives for the Blue Raiders, and it's been doing that all season long.
2nd down and long for Middle. Go the end around Cam Lacey, and he is lit up behind the line of scrimmage, making the stop from his safety position. Josiah McGrew, the freshman from Tallahassee. And Lacey a little slow to get up after the hit, and now he is on his back. This is a very, very talented FIU secondary, but a lot of youth, but a lot of depth as well.
Yes, I was just down there talking to my former teammate, safeties coach, Coach Gilstrap, and he said, man, I got some pros. And one person he talked about was Josiah McGrew, true freshman from Tallahassee. Huge, great size, and you see how he fit the gap, coming downhill, great angle, and once he gets there, he is making noise, and you've seen it on that play right there.
So 3rd down and about 13 for Middle Tennessee. 4:40 to go here in the 1st. Middle leads by 1. You see Middle Tennessee on 3rd down. This season they have been much improved in the last few ball games. Battiato running out of time, and he's sacked. Just a 4-man rush for FIU. But it's Robert Williams who had his first career sack a week ago against Missouri State, the redshirt freshman from Miami. With his first career full sack.
That was definitely a great job by Robert Williams. And the Panthers were able to get some interior pressure, forcing Battiato to his left, right into the arms of Robert Williams on that play.
And a once promising drive stalls out for Middle Tennessee. And again, it's the offensive line penalties that are rearing their ugly head, as that punt will be caught at the 41-yard line by McGuire Anderson. And we will step aside with 3:42 to go. FIU ball on the other side of the break.
USA.
So while you're gone, a 15-yard penalty against Parker Hughes and Middle Tennessee. And there's Parker Hughes, number 9, the leading tackler for Middle Tennessee yet again this year after leading the squad in tackles last year after missing a handful of ball games. Former walk-on and team captain this year for Middle Tennessee, the heartbeat of this defense for Middle Tennessee. And so now FIU, who had the ball on their own 41, now have the ball on Middle Tennessee's 44-yard line. So great field position on this third drive for Joe Pisnansky. Officials set the ball, and we are ready to go. FIU going with a tight 2 tight end set for Dugo and Dallas Payne. Pisnansky handing off, first down, and not a whole lot of room to run on that first down carry from Keyshawn Owens. And again, this Middle Tennessee defense has bowed up a little bit in the last few weeks, being able to stop the run a lot better. Really held Jacksonville State's offense in check a week ago, held them to 133 yards less than their season average in terms of running the football.
You're right about that, and holding specifically the leading rusher in the nation under 100 yards. So that is a recipe for victory. Even though they didn't get the results, they know that they have to have that type of performance, stopping the run this week, to have a chance to win.
Handoff right side on the replay. It's Owens. He's going to have the first down, and that's the first big play of more than 10 yards that we have seen from FIU so far this afternoon as they're looking to move quickly.
Yes, just a simple little RPO dive right here. Great job by KJ. Cutting back.
Throwing on first down. Comeback route is caught inside the 25. That's Kyle McNeil, the redshirt freshman from Rivera Beach, Florida. And when we talked to Coach Willie Simmons earlier this week, we asked him, hey, who's a couple of guys that you think could fill that number 2 role in the wide receiver room? And the first name out of his mouth was Kyle McNeil. Kazansky throwing, second and short, lofting near side, intercepted off the tip. Corey Smith, the linebacker from right here in Murfreesboro.
And that's a great job. You run to the ball. Even though that wasn't his man, you follow the throw, and right there, tip ball, great hands, no gloves, finger tape. What a great play right there by Mr. Smith. Coming up big for the Blue Raiders. And Coach Mason talked about how he needed his defense to generate turnovers. He wants to score from his defense, but he'll take an interception right there.
5th interception this season for Middle Tennessee's defense. Just the 9th turnover forced this season by Middle Tennessee. It's the 3rd interception that Kazansky has thrown this year. He has played in 5 games. This is the 6th game he has played in this season. As the first down handoff will pick up a handful for Middle. DJ Taylor, the freshman, also from right here in Murfreesboro, product of Riverdale High School. Starting to see a little bit more action as that number 2 option in the backfield for Middle.
For sure, got into the end zone last week, talked about how good it felt, even though he said it would have felt better in a win, but definitely you see his progress as this season goes, making an impact for the Blue Raiders offense.
Yeah, first career touchdown, a 10-yard catch, and the loss against Jacksonville State as Middle going empty set on 2nd down and 4, 5 wide. Battiato, quick throw across the middle, and I believe that's DJ Taylor yet again.
And that's what you got to love about this Coach Reeder-led offense, that the versatility of the running backs. They're 3 down backs. They can go line up in the slot, run a good route, great route to get open, and they have the hands to make the plays. And we've seen that with Jaquel Middlebrook on a touchdown pass, and we've seen that right there with DJ Taylor.
First down, 10. Ball is out. Johnny Chaney Jr. with the takeaway. Ball just popped out, and Chaney was all over it.
Definitely did not have the lid tight on the pickle jar. And once again, we see what happens when you run to the football as a defensive player. Great job by Johnny Chaney Jr. right there, coming up with the fumble recovery. And Coach Mason talked about that's someone that pops out on film when you watch the FIU defense. He's all over the field from his linebacker position, making plays just like that.
Chaney played for Simmons at Florida A&M. Went to Colorado for a year. Is going to finish his career in Miami playing for his favorite head coach. As FIU on the end around and taking the elevator to the top floor, JoJo Stone picking up the first down. And now FIU with some juice.
And I asked offensive coordinator Nick Coleman who could have a great game today that maybe be going under the radar, and he said Mr. Stone, who's been preparing, had a great week of practice, and we've seen that he's been working on his hurdling ability right there. Great play by Mr. Stone.
First down run to Anthony Carey, the number 2 option for FIU. Bit of a thunder and lightning combo with this FIU backfield. Obviously, a lot of their offense comes from their rushing game. They average 183 yards on the ground. That is 2nd best in the conference. And Keyjon Owens gets a majority of the carries, but it's a really nice second option with Anthony Carey as That'll be the final play of the first quarter. FIU is knocking on the door after the fumble. Deep in Middle Tennessee territory, but it is the Blue Raiders on top here at home, 7-0. Jaquale Middlebrook, 44 yards from Nick Vadiato, the lone scorer in this one. But Joe Pizanski and the Panthers knocking on the door deep in Blue Raider territory, and the red zone on the 13, 2nd and 6. Handoff, carry up the middle, going to be close to a first down and close to a 1st and goal situation for the Panthers.
And if you're offensive coordinator Nick Coleman right here, you definitely want to get into pay dirt right here. Your best field position and opportunity thus far in this game.
Going to call it 3rd down and 3. Handoff again on 3rd down. Going to get down to about the 5-yard line, and definitely has a first down is Anthony Carey again. So now 1st and goal for FIU, and they have been struggling a little bit in the red zone this year, converting just 54% of their trips to the red zone and turn into touchdowns. That is 10th in Conference USA. They have 4 red zone turnovers so far this season. And in the last 2 ball games, just 4 of 8 scoring touchdowns went in the red zone. Looking to score 1 here. Pizanski, pump fake, gonna keep it in the end zone. Joe Pizanski
Number 16, Joe Kozinski is in for the FIU touchdown. 6 yards on the play.
Joe Kozinski right there, showing off his running ability on the RPO, had an opportunity to throw, but took it himself. Showed the gold feet out there with the gold pants. Getting into pay dirt. Great job by the FIU offense right there. With the opportunity to even up the score.
Kick is up and good. And so FIU has tied it up after the turnover, the fumble from DJ Taylor, and the recovery by Johnny Chaney Jr. set up FIU with perfect field position. Joe Kozinski runs it in for his first career rushing touchdown as a Panther to tie it up at 7.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat. By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling cause you know that you're in luck. When you're fixed up and you know it, Hiller solved it like you hoped it. If you're happy and you know it, shout it out. Hiller!
Okay, Lightning, it's your turn. Come on back.
How's it going, man? I'm Dr. Hensley. Nice to meet you. Just gonna take a look at your teeth, okay? Oh, very nice. Wow, look at those teeth. Those look great, Lightning. I don't see any cavities in there.
All right, Lightning, no cavities. You're good for today. Here's your bag.
I'm Victoria from Lincoln County, Tennessee, where growing up with my grandparents, I learned what hard work really meant. For me, college wasn't a given. It was a leap, and I took it. At MTSU, I studied abroad twice, interned in DC, and got curious on what my future could look like. I found people who believed in me and helped me believe in myself. MTSU showed me what is possible. I'm Victoria, and I'm true blue.
5 plays, 28 yards, 2 minutes, 14 seconds. Joe Kozinski with his first rushing touchdown as a Panther ties this game up at 7 after the point after attempt from Noah Grant, and Grant sends this one the other way. Fielded inside the 10. Getting free is DJ Taylor, and Grant knocks him out at the 40-yard line, but Taylor with a nice return after the fumble that led to the FIU touchdown.
And that's a great job by DJ Taylor right there, showing you have to have a short-term memory when you play this game. Though he had the fumble, caught the kickoff with confidence and had a great return, giving the Blue Raiders some great field position right here.
And going back to that Taylor fumble, couldn't exactly make out who made the play, but it was kind of a glancing blow, but Chaney was right there to pounce on it before it even hit the turf, as Middle tries to rebound from the turnover. Read play. Vadiato, far side. Cam Lacey, who was getting checked out in the blue medical tent earlier back in the ball game, has turned into a weapon for this Middle Tennessee offense in that slot position. Now 2nd down and 6 for Vadiato and company. Middlebrook in the single back. Now empty backfield, 5-man rush. Vadiato far side again, going right at Brian Blades, the second.
It was a great job, great completion right there, but you can tell Brian Blaze playing the sticks, almost there for the pass breakup.
That's number 89, Landon Collins, with his first catch on the afternoon.
And this is where you want to be if you're the Blue Raiders offense. 3rd and 1 at the 50 or 49-yard line. It's really 2 down type of scenario right here with just where you are on the field and only having about inches to get the first down.
And on 3rd and 1, a great push up front from the FIU front 7, but it's still going to be good enough for a first down.
And the Blue Raiders sent their heavy package in, bringing in the 2 extra D linemen right there. So you know what their intentions were? And that was big man football right there.
It's first down and 10. Middle from the 50. Vadi out a long throw and an even longer throw as he was looking for Landon Collins, the freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, who just made the catch on the previous play.
And just on throws like that, we know it was an incomplete, but it was a where you wanted to miss. If you're going to miss on a deep out route, you cannot be late and inside. You're either going to have to be high or away, and that's what Nick Badiato did right there.
I believe that was Landon Collins' first catch on the season. Middle, a little trickery. They go back to Middlebrook, and he'll pick up about 5 on 3rd down and 10.
And I like the play design. Very unique. Effective, picks up, like you said, about 5 yards.
And that was Roman Gagliano, the backup quarterback for Middle Tennessee, that was in on that play. Vadiato to throw, 3rd and 4 across the middle, caught for a first down. It's Landon Collins again.
And man, Landon Collins must do rice grips all week long, showing the strength in his hands on 2 throws, 2 catches on this drive. He's been contested by Blaze the second, but he's both times able to come down with the catch. None bigger than that one. Pick up first down.
The freshman from Knoxville, Tennessee, Farragut High School, picks up the first down as whistles.
Timeout, Middle Tennessee. They're first. 30-second timeout. Correction, media timeout. Please reset the game clock to 10 minutes, 39 seconds. 10-3-9.
All right, so we will step away. 10:24 to go here in the second. Middle on the move, all tied at 7.
I'm Victoria from Lincoln County, Tennessee, where growing up with my
Middle Tennessee in the middle of a 7-play, 21-yard drive. They've already knocked off 3 minutes off the clock after FIU tied this game up at 7 after the Joe Poznansky run. Now Middle has 1st and 10 on the FIU 39. Empty backfield for Vadiato. Miles Butler. A little push pass. Picks up a handful, maybe about 6, to get across the 35, a little bit deeper into FIU territory.
And I think the Blue Raiders, though they've still had penalties and not always have been perfect on first down, they have showed that they have put themselves in great positions consistently to get first down.
It was actually Middlebrook. Gagliano in. Throw back to him behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be sacked. Kenton Simmons read that play perfectly. So Middle Tennessee, a little bit of misdirection, some sleight of hand, throwing Roman Gagliano in there a little bit. But FIU not falling for it this time.
Yes, I think you go to that play once you've been setting it up. And we haven't seen deep throws down the field with your receivers. So the DBs aren't biting on anything because you haven't tested them. So I'm not really happy if you're a Blue Raider fan with that play call right there.
Yeah, now it's 3rd and 15. 4-man rush for FIU. Vadiato will check down, and now Middle Tennessee is in a position where they have gotten to punt with the ball on the FIU 44. So you're saying that play, if you're going to run that play, maybe do that on a 1st down.
A 1st down or set it up. Like we haven't seen them set that play up. You normally set your trick plays up to where the defense, like, oh, this looks like the same formation, and then you run a trick play off of it. They brought 2 quarterbacks in the first time all game, and then you went with the trick play on the first time bringing the quarterback in. So I don't think they set it up, and we've seen the results of the play. A huge loss, causing them to punt right here on 4th down.
Ashton Logan out to punt. Trying to pin the Panthers back deep. Anderson will let it bounce at the 5, and it'll roll to the 10-yard line, and that's where FIU will take over with 9:12 to go here before halftime. So interesting play call from Bodie Reeder on that 2nd down and 10 for Middle. It winds up being a 3rd and 15. Middle can't convert on 3rd and long. So now FIU has the ball on their own 10-yard line with backup Joe Poznansky getting the start today for the injured Kewan Jenkins. There's Willie Simmons, who we spoke with earlier this year, and of course his formidable years as a coach spent right here in Murfreesboro.
Yes, it's great to see Coach Simmons. He was a running backs coach when I was here, and after I left, became the OC, man. He is a change agent wherever he goes.
Quick screen pass, far side. Kyle McNeil, another one of those players that Coach Simmons is looking for to kind of develop into being that number 2 option behind Alex Perry, the leading receiver for FIU. And of course, there's a whole host of coaches that have either played at Middle Tennessee or coached at Middle Tennessee in the early Stockstill years that are on this staff for FIU, as Poznansky is going to get rocked. And now a late flag coming in as Shakai Woods with a big hit on Poznansky.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 98, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
Yeah, we're going to need another look at this.
This is so tough for defenders, and they normally call it. So the initial hit wasn't a hit to the head, but it's you can't fall right there on the quarterback. You have to kind of.
Where's he supposed to fall?
I know it's very difficult as a defender. A defensive player now in 2025, but
sorry,
they're expecting you to hit and fall off to the side.
I don't like it. I do not like it.
It is very hard to play defense.
That's as clean a hit as you are going to see in college football in 2025, and we just threw a flag on it. 1st and 10 for FIU. They're going to lose yards as Middle read that play. JoJo Stone couldn't get free from the grips of Reggie Johnson, who has really, really grown up here in his junior season for Middle.
And that was a great job by Jackson Lowe right there, being able to be in man coverage. So he knows, hey, if my receiver is going to the backfield, I am too. And he gets the tackle for a loss, putting the FIU Panthers behind the sticks.
It was actually Jackson Lowe, the cornerback from Brentwood, Tennessee, that was there making first contact with Stone. And so now FIU behind the sticks at 2nd and 16. Read play over the middle, wide open. It was a receiver, good enough. He's close to a first down. JoJo Stone going right back to JoJo. One of the few players not from the state of Florida on this roster. Stone from Fairburn, Georgia, but a transfer from Louisville. 3rd down and short handoff, easy pickings for the first down for FIU as they go back to Keyshawn Owens.
Now it looks like FIU wants to go a little tempo after having success in a few plays.
Zansky to throw, first down, taking a deep shot downfield, has a man, caught! JoJo Stone! But there is a flag down, and it's against Middle Tennessee.
Number 22, that penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Joe to JoJo for 49 yards, and FIU has the lead here in the Borough.
And you see why this offense is so hard to really prepare for, because they're so balanced. We see them run the ball, then go deep. So as a defense, it's hard to know, hey, should we stack the box? Should we go more zone? And then they catch you slipping and hit you right over the top for 6. Phenomenal job by the FIU Panthers and Joe Cool Pazanski.
Ball start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. Replay to try.
So it moved the Panthers back 5 yards on the point after attempt here for Noah Grant, transfer from UAB. And JoJo Stone back-to-back weeks with a touchdown catch. He now has 2 this season and 2 in his career. The redshirt freshman transfer from Louisville has given the Panthers a 1-score lead as the Joe to JoJo connection gives FIU a touchdown lead here on the road. Looking to make it 2 in a row against Middle.
I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. To help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Window World is a local family business that proudly supports our community. We're your neighbors living in the towns you call home.
We attend the same schools, local restaurants, and grocery stores.
We proudly support our military, first responders, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
We're local professionals and craftsmen dedicated to creating curb appeal and energy savings, one local home at a time.
We are Window World, supporting your community because it's our community.
Show we're made of steel, so we are tough, we are brave, we will rise through the pain, and we are world
JoJo Stone had offers from all the big boys coming out of high school. LSU, Arizona, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, Florida State. Ended up going to Louisville. Did not play for the Cardinals last year. Transferred to FIU in the offseason. And he has turned out to be a weapon the last couple of weeks. Had a career-high 6 catches, 48 yards, and a touchdown last week in the loss against Missouri State. And he was giving Middle Tennessee fits on that last drive as his 49-yard scoring catch has given the Panthers a lead as Taylor will take the kick and had nowhere to go. Great coverage downfield by the Panthers special teams unit. So Middle Tennessee had something working on the last drive. Interesting play call, set them back a little bit, tried to get a little too cute. And now Nick Vadiato has 7-11 to work with to try to tie this thing up.
Yeah, I think if you're the Blue Raiders, you got to stick to what's been working. You're able to have success often on first down. Nick has been seeing the field well, connecting with his receivers. So I don't think it was a need there for a trick play behind the line of scrimmage.
Handoff on first down. That ball is out. And FIU's got it. Jermaine Carter comes away with it. The homegrown kid from Miami, out of Miami Norland High School, the starting defensive tackle, just a sophomore, and the second turnover for Middle Tennessee's offense. Deep in their own territory, and another fumble from DJ Taylor.
And just like that, the script flips for the Blue Raiders. They had some momentum, and now here you are, potentially giving up 2 touchdowns in a span of 3 minutes to the FIU Panthers. But if you're the Panthers, you're excited. You got a great job, a great opportunity right here to put some more points on the board.
This is where Middle Tennessee's defense needs to swell up. FIU has the ball on the 17-yard line. Owens cuts through 1 tackle. Might have just got across the line of scrimmage. Did see earlier in the ballgame that Jaquel Middlebrook was on the sideline getting that ankle taped up. We have not seen him very much since.
And just looking at that last play right there, I think they might come back to that play because that was Philly special right there. That the running back right there, KJ, decided to keep it a smart play and just get some positive yards.
And credit Percy Courtney Jr. with the forced fumble. Pickup of 0, 2nd down and 10. Pazanski crosses body, has a receiver, and stopped at the 1-yard line. And it's the leading receiver for the Panthers, Alex Perry, a transfer from Hawaii. FIU working quickly, diving for the plane.
A very dangerous play right there by KJ. Tried to jump and leap into the end zone, but came up short. But running backs at home, you don't want to do that because that's how you can lose the ball at the 1-yard line. Somebody comes and poke that ball out. So just tuck it in and try to run it in or live to see another down.
FIU in the shotgun. Ball essentially on the 2-inch line. High snap. Pazanski going to keep it himself. He's going to roll towards the goal line. FIU thinks he's in. Officials pulling piles off the body and off the turf. And Middle able to get the stop. 3rd down.
Yeah, I don't know if Nick Coleman, the offensive coordinator, has any plays under center, but I think this is a play you want to go under center because when you take a snap in the shotgun, you're 3 to 4 yards back, so your quarterback or running back still has to run for 3 to 4 yards even though the ball is on the 1-inch line. So I think you want to get under center right here. And no, still not.
Owens to the left of Pazanski. Handoff. Owens reaching across the goal line for the touchdown, K.J. Owens.
And the FIU Panthers were determined that they were going to run the ball into the end zone, and that's what they did right there. Offensive coordinator Nick Coleman said, being a former quarterback, he likes to dial up passing plays for touchdowns, but he understands that his best players are at the running back position. That's none other than K.J. Owens.
FIU has scored 20 points on 3 straight drives. 2 of those 3 coming from fumbles from DJ Taylor, in which the Panthers have only had to gain about 38 total yards, as officials are double checking to make sure that Owens broke the plane before he was down. And we're set for the point after attempt from Noah Grant. Snap, hold, kick, good. So FIU swelling up on Middle Tennessee in a matter of minutes, 21-7. If you blinked, you missed it. Just moments ago, this was a 7-7 ball game. But all of a sudden, FIU and the turnovers from Middle Tennessee absolutely crushing.
You're right, the turnovers are unexplainable. It's hard to win, turn the ball over. And then when you turn the ball over deep in your own territory and making it easier for the FIU offense to be able to drive down the field, it's just not a good recipe if you want to win the game. And so the Blue Raiders right now, they do not have the momentum. Still a lot of time left in this game, but they have to play better, and that starts with taking care of the football on the offensive side of the ball.
So FIU leads 21-7, even though they are only averaging 28 yards gained per possession, as that kick is short and will go out of bounds. Grant trying to force a return.
Illegal kick out of bounds. Kicking team, number 16. Ball be placed at the 35-yard line. First down.
Jawan Gaston was back there for Middle Tennessee. It had been DJ Taylor. You got to imagine that Grant was trying to force a return from who he thought might have been DJ Taylor back there. But now Middle Tennessee will take over with good field position on their own 35-yard line. And there's a look at the last 4 drives for Middle Tennessee. Punt, fumble, punt, fumble. So here's Vadiato in a 14-point hole. Rolling left, checking down, and nowhere to go. Great open field tackle. Mr. Clark leads Conference USA's in pass breakups. And a good open field tackler. In fact, this entire secondary for FIU, for as young as they are, extremely talented.
Extremely talented, and they're almost averaging 1 interception per game. And just even watching Mr. Clark right there, being able to stay in zone and bait Nick Vadiato to make the check down, but then come up to make the tackle. Phenomenal job by Mr. Clark.
4-man rush. Vadiato will step up, has a running back out of the backfield. First down and into Panther territory, and a late flag coming in from the secondary. As that's Ricky Hunt Jr., transfer out of Tulsa. Didn't see any action last week against Jacksonville State, as still no word on Jaquel Middlebrook. He is not out there on the field right now.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 22. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
That's Shamir Sterling, FIU's nominee for All-State Good Works Team this year.
And if you're the Blue Raiders, that's the type of favor you need right there, giving you some free yards.
First and 10 from the 32. Vadiato. Design draw play. Going to be roped down at the 30-yard line. Cheney got a hold of him and wouldn't let him go. And a pickup of a couple for middle.
That was a great job right there by Cheney Jr. Because if he didn't hold on right there, I think Nick Vadiato might still be running. Great play design by offensive coordinator for the Blue Raiders, Coach Reeder.
We have seen a few more design run plays for Vadiato the last couple of weeks. Not a lightning fast guy, but he'll pick up some yardage when you need him to. Second down and 8. Play action. Vadiato forced to get rid of it early, checking down, and a bit of a wobbler might have been deflected. Ricky Hunt Jr. able to corral it safely, but Vadiato is down. And the training staff out to check on the senior quarterback as Roman Gagliano gets warmed up, and Vadiato took a shot. As he was trying to get rid of that football. You see Najee Cox over there to check on his senior quarterback as well. Vadiato up on his feet. Good sight to see. Hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. Seems like they're looking for something on the turf. Not sure if it's a mouth guard or a contact. Right now it's 3rd down and 5 for Middle Tennessee, and you gotta wonder if Middle will take a timeout here or roll with Roman Gagliano. As the officials restart the clock. So Middle's going to have to get a playoff before the 2-minute warning here. About 11 seconds difference between game and play clock. Roman Gagliano, Opelika, Alabama. Throwing, stepping up, gonna tuck it, gonna pick up the first down, gonna take a shot and lose the football. And Middle able to fall on it. FIU doesn't think so, but the gentlemen in pinstripes say otherwise. And that's the kind of afternoon it's been for Middle Tennessee. That ball is definitely out. FIU had a shot at it, but Miles Butler able to fall on it, and we will step aside for the 2-minute timeout. Middle driving. Nick Vadiato back in the game after Roman Gagliano filled in for him on the last play and fumbled. Luckily for Middle Tennessee, they were able to recover after the first down run. They have the ball on the 12-yard line. It is first down and 10. 2 minutes to go. Middle trails here at home by 14 after 21 straight points from FIU. First down, handoff. Ricky Hunt Jr. spin cycling, hitting the circle button a couple times.
For sure. I remember that NFL game day, I used to press the R button.
That's right.
Juke, juke, and then you pull a hamstring and still keep juking. It's a huge drive right here for the Blue Raiders.
So timeout on the field. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. FIU 21 straight points, 14 of those points coming on forced Middle Tennessee turnovers, on fumbles from DJ Taylor, the running back, the freshman from right here in Murfreesboro, and FIU doing a great job of turning those turnovers into points.
And you hate it for a young player like DJ Taylor, you know, experiencing 2 lost fumbles, but it's games like this, experiences like this as a freshman that turn you into a great player when you become a junior and a senior. So he'll get better from this, I'm sure.
Second down and 6. Replay. Ricky Hunt Jr. slides down at the 5-yard line. Going to be a couple yards short. And another timeout taken by FIU. They have 1 remaining, 1:44 to go. So Middle Tennessee, 7 plays, 60 yards, 2 minutes, 42 seconds so far, taking off this drive here. And with 1:45 to go, and just the way this game has been played, it's touchdown or nothing at this point, right?
I believe so, because FIU gets the ball to start the second half. So if you settle for a field goal, cool, but you haven't been able to stop the Panthers on the last 3 drives. And we know, granted, they had the short field, but still Blue Raiders have still struggled to stop them. So you got to get a touchdown here, I believe. So
here we go, 3rd down and 2. Tight ends in motion. Tipton split out to the right side. Hunt in the backfield for Middle. Vadiato to throw on 3rd down. Stepping up, touchdown. A.J. Jones with his 2nd touchdown catch this season, and Middle makes it a 1-score game.
And what a great job by Nick Vadiato coming in after going out of play, being injured on the play, staying calm in the pocket, allowing the progression of the routes, crossing routes, man beaters in the red zone, stayed patient. Threw a seed right there to A.J. Jones to get in the pay dirt.
Jacob Hathaway out to tack on the point after, and does so. Middle Tennessee scores, 8 plays, 65 yards, 2 minutes, 47 seconds. 2nd touchdown pass this afternoon from Nick Vadiato. Gives him 15 this season and pulls Middle Tennessee within a touchdown here on their own home turf, looking for their first home win this season, looking for their first Conference USA win this season against a shorthanded FIU squad. Kewan Jenkins, the starting quarterback this year for FIU, not playing today. He was questionable coming in after suffering a groin injury last week against Missouri State, but Joe Pasansky has gotten the nod today at quarterback for the Panthers and done pretty well. 7 of 11, 116 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Also has a rushing touchdown as well. But hey, Nick Vadiato has been excellent for Middle Tennessee here this afternoon. 16 of 20, a couple of touchdowns.
And that's why I was so confused about the trick play bringing in the backup quarterback to throw a ball when your starter is playing outstanding. I just didn't understand that play call, and we see what happens when you allow Nick Battiato to command the offense the entire drive. It can result in a touchdown like it did on the last drive.
So with no timeouts remaining and 1:39 to go, they've got the ball on the 25-yard line. What do you think that Nick Coleman is thinking here with 1:39 left, no timeouts? They've got an empty set here.
Well, I think it's based off of what MTSU has, and they have 2 timeouts. So that means that you probably have to go down here and try to get a first down at least.
Quick throw, far sideline, going to be short of the first down, as that's the tight end, Dallas Payne. FIU also does get the ball to start the second half.
Yes, I think like if the Blue Raiders didn't have any timeouts, I think you probably run the ball a few times, run the clock, and just settle to go in halftime, especially with you, like you said, they're getting the ball to start the second half. But with them having 2 timeouts, that is the Blue Raiders, I think that you have to go down here and try to get some points.
There's the numbers for Pazanski. He's been efficient. Here comes a blitz. Middle got to him, but a flag is down. Shakai Woods got to him first. And we're just waiting on the call from Rory Bernard.
Personal foul, hands to the face, offense, number 78. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. It's second down.
So Middle will accept the penalty, as Shakai Woods just blew right through Antonio Tripp Jr. Big guy with a swim move. Even had time to throw in a jump in there, 2 hands in his face. Still got the sack.
Yeah, that was coaching tape right there. When you prepare in spring practice and you go look at some of the game film from the previous season, that will be on there on how you perform the swim move, how you were able to be agile, put your hands up, prevent the quarterback from throwing the ball, and be able to land back on your feet and still get there to make the sack. Man, that was a great play right there.
Both teams are even in terms of total yards. Both have 174. Both teams have been penalized. Okay, so
it's
now
third down.
So Middle has changed their mind and declined the penalty. Shakai Woods certainly appreciates that.
No, for sure. Right, I need my sack, Coach. We don't take away my sack.
That's right.
But I think it's a smart play because with the penalty, you only, knock them back about 5 yards, but now you take away a whole down. So instead of having 2 downs to get 14, 16 yards, now you only have 1.
So 3rd down and 14, Pazanski to throw. 4-man rush across the middle, ball tipped at the line. And that'll bring up 4th down for Middle Tennessee. And now Middle, 2 timeouts, 1:24 to go.
And that was a great job by the Blue Raiders defense. And I think, offensive coordinator Nick Coleman was in a tough situation. Coach Simmons, because if you run the ball twice, all the Blue Raiders were going to do is call timeouts, and then you're going to have to throw on 3rd down anyway. So they were just like, hey, well, let's just go for it. Let's try to drive down the field, at least get a field goal. But the sack was huge for the Blue Raiders. And now they could get the ball back and have opportunity to score themselves before the half.
Will Hoyt out to punt for the 3rd time. A straight-up spiral. And Middle Tennessee will have nice field position at the 42-yard line to work with. 2 timeouts remaining, 1:17 to go. So plenty to play with for Vadiato, who has been exceptional here this afternoon. 16 of 20, 144 yards, and a couple of touchdown passes.
Yep, and I think right here, man, you have 2 timeouts in your pocket. The thing that you gotta have is a successful play on first down. Any negative play really kind of knocks you out of the opportunity of getting points.
Middle goes 4 wide, single back in the backfield. Ricky Hunt Jr. Vadiato throwing, first down, far sideline. A.J. Jones. Pick up about 7 to get to about the 49-yard line for Middle Tennessee.
And that's what you want, because we know FIU, they're playing prevent basically because you got the time. So they have time that they're playing with as well. So they're going to give up everything in front of them and not try to give up the big play.
Middle taking their time on this second down and 4. Their own 49. Here comes the blitz from FIU. Vadiato over the middle as Cam Lacey at the 30. Finally brought down, and a big pickup for this Middle Tennessee offense.
And that's the thing, when you have 2 timeouts, the whole playbook is open. You can run the cross, shallow crosser, the dig, the post route right there.
Middle working quickly. Vadiato looking for Landon Collins, just out of the reach for the redshirt freshman. Javion Celestine was there in coverage for the Panthers. So now second down and 10 after the pickup of 21 to Cam Lacey.
And at worst, if you're the Blue Raiders offense, you should come away with at least a field goal attempt with just where you are right now. But obviously you want 6.
Second down, 10. Vadiato in the pocket, brought down. Jermaine Carter with the sack. And now Middle Tennessee will use their second timeout. 54 seconds left. And Vadiato did have a lane, an alleyway. But Jermaine Carter, 5'11", 275, closed the gap really quick.
And that was a great job by Jermaine Carter. You're taught as a D lineman, as the quarterback tries to climb back up in the pocket, you be able to track your steps. You trace your steps back and collapse on the quarterback, and that's what Jermaine Carter did right there for the FIU Panthers. Set up a third down and 10 for the Blue Raiders. Key third down.
Scorebook not crediting Jermaine Carter with a sack just yet, saying it was a rush for no gain, but that was certainly behind the line of scrimmage. Not by much. It was a sack to me, Jermaine.
Yeah, I got to give Jermaine the sack on that one, man.
Vadiato throwing, a lot of contact on that far sideline. Ryan Blades, the second, tied up with Najee Cox. 1 versus 2. And now it's 4th down and 10 for Middle.
And looking at that play by Brian Blades, the second, I talked to Coach Gilstrap. He said that you could just tell that he grew up around the game. He's so smart. And he knew on that play the sticks. He didn't backpedal. He sat right at the first down sticks and drove down on the comeback. Great job by Brian Blades Jr.
So here's Jacob Hathaway, the Welshman, the transfer from West Virginia Tech. Had not kicked a field goal in anger before this season. Snap, hold, kick. Got it from 47. Hathaway now 7 of 9 on the year. And the transfer from Monmouth, Wales, where he played rugby, soccer, tennis, and golf. I think he's found his niche as a kicker.
Yes, that right there. was a big-time kick. I mean, 47 yards for the NFL, high school, college, that's a long kick, man, and he nailed it. Looked like he had a little bit more, maybe from 50, potentially.
Well, he's made one from 50 earlier this year. That kick certainly had a lot of air underneath it. But Middle Tennessee, still a one-score game, but it's 4 points. Middle does have one timeout remaining. I think there was some confusion on how many timeouts are left. Scoreboard here says Middle has one and FIU has none. Our scorebook says that each team has one timeout remaining. As Ashton Logan boots this one, and FIU will let it roll out of the back of the end zone as Andre Brown was back to take the kick. Let's take a look at the Middle Tennessee scoring drive. 6 plays, 27 yards. Just 35 seconds taken off the clock. So all in all, Middle Tennessee's defense has actually been playing quite stout. It's the 2 turnovers that Middle Tennessee's offense has given away that has put the defense in a really tight spot that has resulted in 14 points off turnovers.
You're right. You look at MTSU defense, they're playing winning football, but it's a 3-phase game, and the offense has not been helping the Blue Raider defense with the 2 turnovers.
Blazanski going to throw on first down. Pocket collapsing. That play broke down in a hurry. 3 different Blue Raiders were there, including Anthony Bynum, Brandon Buckner.
That was a little surprising on the play call right there. I thought FIU might come out, just run the ball a couple times. MTSU, just one time out. So, yeah, that's what I expected. Just go ahead and go into halftime if you're the FIU Panthers.
Zayon Simpson-Smith was also in on the stop. So FIU has a 4-point advantage heading to the break. 14 points off turnovers, 3 straight scoring drives for the Panthers, trying to snap a 2-game skid. Middle Tennessee, a nice little comeback there to close out the first half. 47-yard field goal from Jacob Hathaway, making it a 4-point ball game as Justin Beasley is waiting to catch up with FIU head coach Willie Simmons. And Coach Simmons is with RJB.
That's your team capitalizing on the turnovers.
Well, we were able to capitalize. You know, we talked about defense did a great job of getting them, and offense did a great job of converting them into touchdowns. So again, gave up a big play there early. We got to eliminate those, and offense just got to be optimistic and settle down and make plays. But again, Joe in the rhythm, so we got to have them play a good second half.
The difference in the second half will be
just again our ability to execute, just do little things right. Can't give up big plays on defense, and we got the ball coming out. Got to be able to start fast, and you know, we're on the road, so it's going to be a tough ball game, and we got to execute.
Thank you for your time, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Simmons says that his team has taken a step back the last couple of weeks. Well, they've taken a couple of steps forward here this afternoon. They lead by 4 here at halftime in Murfreesboro. FIU on top with a backup quarterback, 21-17 against Middle Tennessee. Absolutely gorgeous autumn Saturday here in the Mid-State. FIU leads the hometown Blue Raiders 21-17. Jeremy Kelp, Jake Rose hanging out with you here at halftime at Floyd Stadium. And what an entertaining first half between these two teams. Both teams in desperate need of a win. FIU a 2-game skid, Middle Tennessee a 5-game slide. But let's start with Middle Tennessee. They started off with a 7-0 lead on a really nice long drive from Nick Vattiato, but then the turnovers crept in, and then FIU 21 unanswered points.
Yeah, I think with the Blue Raiders, you see, right, the potential, explosive ability. They play well, and then they have 2 turnovers. And then when you look at FIU, they're just capitalizing on the turnovers, not making mistakes themselves, but giving up big plays. So I think if you're the Blue Raiders just coming out, you need to continue to be you, play great football, but in all 3 phases.
Kewan Jenkins, the starting quarterback for FIU this season, is not playing today. He came into this game questionable with a groin injury, but Joe Pazanski has gotten the nod for FIU, and he's played pretty well. Outside the 1 interception, he's been really pretty much lights out for this FIU offense.
He has. Joe Pazanski has been balling out in this first half, running for a touchdown, throwing for a touchdown, been very effective. He did have a tip ball interception, but if you're Coach Simmons, if you're OC Nick Coleman, you have to be very, very impressed by Joe Pazanski.
And Nick Vattiato is putting together arguably the best game of his season so far this year. 2 touchdown passes in that first half. And Middle Tennessee now has the question of, what do we do if we don't have Jaquel Middlebrook back in the lineup in the second half? He missed most of the second quarter, and we saw DJ Taylor, the freshman, have 2 fumbles that led to 14 points for FIU.
I think when your number 1 option goes down, you got to go to your number 2, and that's Nick Vattiato. He has to make plays on the ground and obviously in the air as well. We haven't heard a lot from Cox from the receiver position, so they have to take some shots down the field to be able to open up some running lanes for the running backs for the Blue Raiders. But you have to put the ball in Nick Vattiato's hands and let him come out with this victory tonight.
One of the best traditions in Conference USA, the annual Salute to Service game. All the Blue Raiders veterans and current military being honored here at halftime from all of the military branches right here at Floyd Stadium. Stay with us. More from halftime coming up next on ESPN. Taking a look at our quarterback numbers from the first half as the Band of Blue is taking over the turf here at Middle Tennessee. Brand new turf here at Middle Tennessee. Joe Pizanski getting the start today, his first start as a Panther. Did start all last year for Holy Cross, was his second team All-Patriot League selection. Threw for over 2,400 yards, has his first rushing touchdown as a Panther. That was the first score of the day for FIU.
Man, Joe been playing very great. You see the deep ball right here, the accuracy, the touch, and a great job by Stone being able to come down with the great contested catch. And Joe is exactly who Coach Coleman said he was. He said he would make a great coach, but today he's making a great starting quarterback for the FIU Panthers.
And then looking at Nick Vadiato, he has been so efficient here today, completing more than 75% of his passes. A couple of touchdowns as well. This one just right on the money to Jaquel Middlebrook, just floating it right over the heart of the defense.
And that was just great touch by Nick Vadiato. We know that he's a baller. He's toughness. He's came back into the game from injury. He's throwing the ball he's going through his progressions, making great throws. So, man, great first half by Nick Vadiato.
Yeah, and spread the ball around, too. More than half a dozen receivers have gotten a catch so far this afternoon. Just take a look at the numbers there. Vadiato, very efficient, 18 of 24, a couple of touchdowns. And we will step aside for the final break before the start of the second half. 7.5 minutes to go before second half action here in Murfreesboro.
The best traditions set a
Start of the second half, and Jeremy, the turnovers for Middle Tennessee in the first half, backbreaking, but FIU capitalized.
No, for sure. And I think that FIU, you want to make sure you eliminate the big plays. Gave up really 2 big plays on defense, and then obviously on offense, you want to stay balanced with the run and the pass to keep MTSU's defense off balance so that you don't become predictable. And I think about when you look at MTSU, they have to limit the turnovers, keep the lid on the pickle jar tight, and then also on the offensive side, you have to stick with what works. Don't go to trick plays when the run and when Nick Gaudiato is willing and dealing out there. And so if they are able to do that, then I think they'll have a successful second half.
We've got second half action coming up in just a couple of minutes. Middle Tennessee trying to get their first Conference USA win this season. They trail by 4 on their own home turf. Second half coming up next. Start of the second half here in Murfreesboro. FIU leads 21-17. FIU trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Middle Tennessee trying to stop a 5-game slide. And looking for their first win in Conference USA. FIU 3-5 this year, trying to keep their bowl hopes alive for the first time since 2018. As that kick will go to the back of the end zone. And Joe Pazanski will take over at the 25-yard line as the shadows starting to cover up the turf here at Floyd Stadium. FIU, 157 total yards in that first half. Only 34 yards on the ground. This is an FIU offense that averages 183 yards. That is second best in Conference USA. Pizanski to throw, pocket collapsing, long throw downfield into Blue Raider territory, and a late flag comes in as Pizanski was sandwiched as he found Kyle McNeil deep downfield.
Defense, number 0. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
That's Anthony Bynum, as that is the second longest completion on the day for Pizanski behind the 49-yard touchdown throw to JoJo Stone earlier in the ballgame. And let's throw it down to Justin Beasley on the sideline. JB, what you got?
Hey, guys, got a chance to talk with head coach Derek Mason coming out of the locker room. He said basically they don't need to turn the ball over anymore here in the second half. Limit the big plays and also score more points. We'll see if they're able to do that here in the second half. Back to you guys.
Thanks, JB. First down and 10 on the Middle Tennessee 35. Handoff on first down, and falling forward is Keyshawn Owens. And Middle Tennessee actually did a really nice job of keeping KJ Owens in check in that first half. He only had 10 carries for 29 yards.
I think when you look at from last week, the front seven played amazing, stopping and holding the leading rusher in the country under 100 yards. And so they come out this week and have another amazing first half, limiting another nation leader in rushing. So, man, this front seven from the Blue Raiders have been playing outstanding.
Second down, 8 high snap. Pizanski, quick throw to McNeil, and he's going to be wrestled down by Parker Hughes, the captain and the leading tackler for Middle Tennessee this season.
And a great thing about the offensive coordinator, Coach Coleman, for the FIU Panthers, he's keeping it so balanced. He's running, he's throwing, and not being predictable.
Third down, short handoff, going nowhere. And then falling forward, but short of the first down, is KJ Owens. And this Middle Tennessee defensive front doing a really nice job the last several weeks, slowing down opposing running games. It was just a year ago, really earlier in the season, when teams were force-feeding their running backs because Middle Tennessee's defense couldn't slow down the running game. Now, Middle Tennessee's defense has flipped the script.
They flipped the script for sure. I know one game that we covered, giving up over 200 yards rushing. So what a great improvement by their defense.
4th and 1.5. Pizanski on the boot, checking down to a tight end. First down. And that's McGuire Anderson, actually the wide receiver and the second leading receiver coming into this game for FIU. Transfer from BYU. His dad, AJ, also played at BYU and USF. Spent a little time in the NFL.
And I think it's a beautiful thing as an offensive coordinator when you can still call the same exact plays when your backup comes in. They're running change of direction plays, RPOs, whatever they like, because they have so much confidence in Pizanski at the quarterback position.
And a lot of that is the experience that Pizanski has. Again, a starter all of last year for Holy Cross. Also started half the season the year before that as Owens slides through a few tackles and will pick up about 3. And now we've seen Pizanski go under center a couple times here.
And like you said, it just shows his experience. He's used to starting. And so a lot of times, even though you might be the backup quarterback, but if you believe in yourself and you have confidence in yourself, and when belief meets effort, then you get the results that we're seeing right now that Joe Pizanski is getting.
2nd and 7. Ball on the Middle Tennessee 20-yard line. FIU 2 for 2 in the red zone here today. Pizanski to throw on second down, lofting one towards the end zone. Trying to come back for it was Alex Perry. Not going to get the flag. Good defense by the Middle Tennessee secondary. And Kamari Hall.
No flag, no harm if you're the Blue Raiders. And I think they did get away with one right there, but great job by the secondary.
Kamari Hall, the freshman from Hollywood, Florida. And now it's 3rd down and 7. For FIU, they're going to go 4 wide, single back. 3-man rush. Pazanski with time across the middle has his man and brought down at the 10-yard line. And good enough for a first down is Kyle McNeil.
And you just see how comfortable Pazanski is. He's not panicking. He's going through his progressions. And then he comes down to his last read and picks up a first down right there.
McNeil already with career highs in catches and yards here this afternoon. 5 catches, 58 yards for the redshirt freshman from Rivera Beach. Pazanski lofting one towards the end zone. Flag is down. Caught JoJo Stone. The Joe to JoJo connection is thriving.
Holding. Offense. Number 55.
Never mind.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Back-breaking holding call against Daniel Michel. The starting right tackle looking for an explanation from this officiating crew, but that wipes off the touchdown for FIU on another beautiful ball from Pazanski.
And if you're Joe Pazanski, that play still goes on the highlight tape right there.
Oh,
dropping that in the bucket. And just look for that corner route right there. There was trips to the left side, running the corner route by the inside number 3 receiver. So best believe I think FIU will come back to that play sometime in the second half.
So 1st and goal, another lob towards the end zone, touchdown. Alex Perry this time. Wide open in the back of the Middle Tennessee end zone. And FIU with an impressive opening drive to the second half.
And right there, ladies and gentlemen, you have what you call a sluggo. Fake the slant, then continue on the go route into the end zone. And Joe Pazanski is willing and dealing for the FIU Panthers right now. And a great route by Alex Perry. And that's 4 straight drives right there.
Alex Perry, transfer from Hawaii, spent 3 years in the islands. Had 22 catches a year last year.
Defense, number 92. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
22 catches a year ago for Alex Perry for the Rainbow Warriors. No touchdowns, but he's got 4 touchdowns this season to lead FIU. He's had touchdown catches in back-to-back ball games. And now it looks like FIU is sending the offense onto the field.
This is where the analytics of the game kicks in, right?
Right. Trying to make it a 12-point ball game instead of 11. Going with the I formation. Play action. Pazanski lobbing one to the end zone again, broken up. Abdul Muhammad this time. Making the play on defense, but FIU putting 6 on the board. They lead by 10.
The best traditions set a standard. A belief fueled by grit, revolutionary smarts, and a clear vision for winning. Because a strong tradition makes fans of us all. Get 3.9% financing for 72 months, plus $2,750 bonus cash on F-150. Only at your local Ford dealer.
No matter what brings you in, a fever, the flu, or a last-minute injury, MMC Now makes care easy. Walk right in, get seen quickly, and your visit connects directly to your MMC doctor. Care you trust, with providers you know, with digital check-in and multiple locations around town. MMC Now is here when you need us.
This is where your ambition takes flight, at a top-ranked research university in the heart of Miami. This is where we crush cancer, explore oceans, and pioneer sustainable solutions. This is where we push limits and challenge conventions, where tomorrow's leaders make their mark, studying storms, building resilience, and driving impact. This is where you harness your potential and grow unstoppable. Step into the future at Florida International University.
You'll always win when you choose Murfreesboro Hyundai. Whether you're scoring a great deal on a new vehicle or bringing your current ride in for quality service, our team is committed to going above and beyond, so your experience is seamless and stress-free every time. That's better than a touchdown. From competitive pricing and flexible financing options to exceptional customer service and transparency in every interaction, we're cheering you on. You can trust us for all of your automotive needs.
Come see us at Murfreesboro Hyundai and discover the experience you deserve.
Nine plays, 75 yards, 4.5 minutes taken off the clock. FIU has scored on 4 of their last 5 drives, scored touchdowns on 4 of their last 5 drives, as they now have a 10-point lead. Here in Murfreesboro, short kick. Taken by Jawan Gaston. He's got it across the 20, and he's licked. And brought down at about the 22. And so here comes Nick Vadiato in the Blue Raiders offense for the first time here in the second half. Well, it started in Bloomington, Indiana, and it's made its way around the country. Just guys taking off their shirts, hanging out together in the stands, waving their shirts around. And it's made its way to Murfreesboro.
The good thing is not as cold,
no,
sure, as Bloomington, Indiana.
No. It's actually a gorgeous night here in Murfreesboro. Handoff on first down to the right side. And that's Jaquale Middlebrook. That's the first time that we have seen him in a while. He was out for most of the second quarter as DJ Taylor and Ricky Hunt Jr. got most of the carries in that first half. And Brian Blades, the second, is slow to get up. Grabbing at that right shoulder after being in on the tackle on Middlebrook. So a good sign for Middle Tennessee fans having number 9 back there out on the turf, as there's a look at Willie Simmons. And one of the more enjoyable coaching interviews that we've had. Normally we do these production interviews throughout the week, and you're learning about the teams and learning about the coaches' backstories. And he was one of the more pleasant coaches that we've had the opportunity to talk to. And he was telling us that, whenever one of the kids, makes a mistake on the field, he doesn't try to browbeat them or yell and scream. He often just jokes with them, tries to keep things light, tries to use humor to get them to move on. Like, they know they screwed up. They know what they need to do to get better. You coach them, and then maybe you jab at them a little bit.
And it hinted towards the importance of, like in 2025, the players are a little different. Relationship is the focus, and I think that he's prioritizing that. He's done amazing everywhere he has gone. He has won, and you're seeing that as he's building in his first year at FIU.
Middlebrook takes the handoff on 2nd and 5, falls forward close to a first down. Needed to get to the 33. We're going to call it 3rd down and the long one, 3rd down and 2. Quick snap handoff back to Middlebrook, got to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. The front 4 for FIU swallowed him up. Quaylen Hill, one of the more experienced players on that D-line, making contact first, and now Middle Tennessee debating on whether or not to go for it on 4th and short in their own territory.
And I think this is that spoiler season mentality, ski mask season mentality right here. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain, and we see that going for a 4th down right here, 4th and 1 in your own territory.
4th and 1 and in the shotgun. Vadiato trying to get his guys lined up correctly. 5 to go on the play clock. Read play. Middlebrook to the right side, falls forward and moved the chains. Just got it. And you see him tapping on his helmet, looking for a sub. And Ricky Hunt Jr. will sub in for Middlebrook.
And I think that play call is just evident of the mindset, the mentality that Coach Mason has for the remainder of the season, that, hey, he's going out every game doing whatever it takes to win.
First down and 10 from the 33. Vadiato throwing against a four-man front, checks down to Hunt Jr. out of the backfield, and he is wrapped up by a couple of Panthers. Picks up about 2. So we'll call it second down and 8 for Middle Tennessee.
That was a great catch right there, showing off his hands. And that's one thing. If you're going to play running back in a Coach Reeder offense, you have to be a 3-down back. And that is what they have in Ricky Hunt Jr. as well.
Vadiato replay has a tight end on the far side of the field. Hunter Tipton with his first catch tonight, and he drags the FIU defender, giving Shamir Sterling a ride into FIU territory.
And I think Shamir Sterling, what he'll realize is when you're the first guy to make the tackle, you can't go for the strip. You have to secure him and try to get him down on the ground. The second and third guy coming in can go for the strip, not the first guy.
First down. Pocket holding up for Vadiato, looking deep for Cam Lacey. And he caught it, but he was falling out of bounds, incomplete. Missed it by about half a foot.
Yeah, great throw and catch. Just want to be able to drag that foot, but great effort right there by Cameron Lacey.
Mr. Clark, the nickel back in on the coverage. Yeah, just so much talent in this secondary between Clark and Blades, and a lot of the young guys, a lot of the safeties. Second down and 10. Four-man, Vadiato lofting, far sideline, jump ball, and incomplete. Victor Evans, backup quarterback, in on the coverage as Vadiato was looking for Collins again, who's getting a lot of run here tonight. Had only made one appearance so far this season. That was last week against Jacksonville State, but he has been a target so far here tonight for Vadiato.
That was a great job by Victor Evans, man. The corners are coached by Anthony Gator, a FIU legend and former NFL player, doing a great job with the cornerbacks, having them play the ball and play the hands very well.
Third down, 9. Vadiato over the middle. Middlebrook out of the backfield. Only picks up about 3. So got to bring up fourth and medium here for Middle Tennessee. Offense begrudgingly coming off the field with 4th and 6. And if that's a 4th and 3, maybe a 4th and 2, do you think a little bit longer about keeping the offense on the field in that situation?
Yeah, I think so. You know, 4th and medium or 4th and short, you definitely go for it. But this is that's a long 5 right there.
The shirtless guys want him to go for it.
For sure.
Just guys being dudes. Short punt from Ashton Logan, and FIU will take over at about their own 14-yard line on the other side of the break. sun starting to go down here in the mid-state as we take a look around scores around Conference USA. Got a tight one going on. Jacksonville State, UTEP, halfway through the third quarter. Kennesaw State all over New Mexico State, 24-7. Of course, Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State, the two undefeated teams in conference play. Pazanski, long throw over the middle on first down from his own 14, just off the mark as he was looking for Kyle McNeil.
And that might have been Pazanski's worst throw of the night, as he's been playing well all day today for the FIU Panthers.
13 of 20, 187 yards, 2 touchdowns and the interception off that tip. Second down, 10. Read play, lofting, near sideline, intercepted! Jackson Lowe! First career interception for the kid just up the road in Brentwood, and Middle is sitting pretty in FIU territory after the pick. Now,
yes.
Did he come in bounds with it?
We'll get to see right here on this replay. I think so. They say a cheek is 2 feet, so Jackson Lowe, great man coverage, getting his head turned around once he's in position. Coming up huge right there for the Blue Raiders defense.
Second pick thrown this afternoon by Pazanski, and it's given this Middle Tennessee sideline some juice. Ball on the FIU 41. Handoff on first down, and that is going absolutely nowhere. Ricky Hunt hit in the backfield by Shamir Sterling. Redshirt freshman, free safety. They think this kid is going to be an absolute stud for them in the future.
For sure, man. Just getting on the field before a game, seeing them warm up. I didn't know if I was watching DNs warm up or cornerbacks and safeties. They have great size. You can see the playmaking ability out there for them.
Battiato on the fake end around, checks down, tight end, first down, and sending a pop to Sherlin. Tavion Galloway, big number 88, his first catch tonight.
And that was great play design. Anytime you see an offensive player running wide open, it is great play design and great job, great execution by Nick Battiato and his Blue Raider offense.
First and 10 from the 21. Middle just on the fringes of the red zone. Battiato throwing near side. Cox tried to tiptoe to stay in. Picks up about 5, so second down and medium for Middle Tennessee as Celestine was there on the coverage. But Middle having some success with these quicker throws.
And that's who they have to go to, I believe, in the passing game. Najee Cox, who is their leading receiver on the year. I think he needs a little bit more targets. And we'll see if he gets it in the red zone here.
So second down and 4. Ball on the 17. Battiato throwing again, looking to the far side, looking in zone, jump ball, out of bounds. And nice defense by Brian Blades II on Najee Cox.
And they threw it to the right person, and great throw. It did take him out of bounds, but great job by Brian Blades. The second right there, being able to fade into the receiver and force him out of bounds on the throw.
Third and 4. Hunt Jr. out of the backfield. FIU bringing pressure across the middle. Caught for a first down and fighting for more yardage. Miles Butler.
And I believe that was the first time that we heard Miles Butler named tonight. So you're starting to see Nick Vattiato now expand the throws to the receivers. We've seen him target the tight end and target the running backs out of the backfield. But on this drive right here, he's starting to hit the big play receivers.
10 different receivers here tonight for Nick Vattiato. 232 yards, 24 of 33. That's 73%. Replay, Vattiato across the middle, reaching across the goal line for the score. Going right back to Miles Butler.
And that's a big boy catch right there. Catching with his hands, running a slant route, contested catch at that. And then having the IQ to stretch across the line, as you see right here. He knows that the DB right there, but he makes the catch with his hands, strong hands, and stretches across the goal line for the touchdown. And what a game we have right here, Jake.
Hathaway out to tack on the extra point. And he makes it a three-point ball game. 27-24. Middle Tennessee cashing in on the interception. Miles Butler, his first on the season.
I work with Warren County Nursery here in McMinnville, Tennessee.
I'm very passionate about the hay because that's how I take care of my cows.
So I farm here with my dad.
We raise primarily corn, soybeans, and wheat.
By having that in my background and knowing what the customer expects, I know how to cater to the customer.
We're here to provide solutions for our customers.
Going through some of those challenging experiences help you understand maybe the position they're coming from.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, then your face will surely show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. When you see the happy face on our truck, you'll be smiling cause you know that you're in luck. When you're fixed up and you know it, Hiller solved it like you hoped it. If you're happy and you know it, shout it out. Hiller!
Okay, Lightning, it's your turn. Come on back.
How's it going, man? I'm Dr. Hensley. Nice to meet you. Just gonna take a look at your teeth, okay? Oh, very nice. Wow, look at those teeth. Those look great, Lightning. I don't see any cavities in there.
All right, Lightning, no cavities. You're good for today. Here's your bag.
I'm Victoria from Lincoln County, Tennessee, where growing up with my grandparents, I learned what hard work really meant. For me, college wasn't a given. It was a leap, and I took it. At MTSU, I studied abroad twice, interned in DC, and got curious on what my future could look like. I found people who believed in me and helped me believe in myself. MTSU showed me what is possible. I'm Victoria, and I'm true blue.
Well, the group is growing, and the boys are definitely showing. Tarps off for the boys in Section 1 FF. Who says there's a male loneliness epidemic in America? Just come to a college football game.
The brotherhood is definitely on display up there.
A lot is on display up there. Middle Tennessee pulls within 3, 27-24 after the interception from Poznansky by Jackson Lowe. Take a look at the scoring drive numbers for Middle on that last drive. 6 plays, 41 yards. And again, Nick Vattiato just very, very efficient tonight, completing 74% of his passes. 3 touchdowns tonight for the redshirt senior.
Nick Vattiato is playing amazing, and that's what you need out of your second best offensive player, especially when your top option goes down to injury. And Jaquel Middlebrook, Nick Vattiato has elevated his play and is bringing the Blue Raiders back.
Pizanski on the keeper, on the boot. Plenty of room to run. Cuts back at the 50, lost the football. Out of bounds, but a little bit of an okie doke from FIU and offensive coordinator Nick Coleman.
Definitely, because when you think about RPOs, you're thinking about when they have Keywan Jenkins in, but Pizanski has the ability to keep it and run, and you've seen it on that play right there.
Long throw to the far side of the field, and McGuire Anderson with the catch. Close to a first down. And go ahead and move the sticks.
And you just see the rhythm that offensive coordinator Nick Coleman is in. They call it RPO run, then you come back with a pass. 2 first downs.
Pizanski letting it rip across the field again to Alex Perry. And these quarterbacks not afraid to throw the ball from the far side of the hash to the opposite sideline.
It's called arm strength, and they talked about Pizanski's arm strength, and we're seeing it on display on throws like that. Like you said, throwing deep out from the opposite half.
Pizanski pump fake, lobbing one deep. He's got his tight end, Dallas Payne, for the score. Third touchdown pass tonight for Joe Pizanski. And just like that, FIU comes back with a haymaker.
With the haymaker, double move, Payne, blurred, head topper catch. I grew up saying it's you got moss, but the kids call it head top today. What a great job by this FIU offense, being able to stay balanced, run, RPO, throw. You see it right there on display, man. Great job by the FIU Panthers, led by Joe Pizanski.
And in less than a minute, FIU has made this a 10-point ball game. 4 plays, 75 yards, 56 seconds. Dallas Payne from 30 yards out. And his second game in a row with a touchdown catch. Had his first as a Panther last week. The transfer from UAB had 17 catches and a touchdown a year ago down there in Birmingham. Originally started his career at St. Thomas NAIA school. Now he's catching touchdown passes left and right. And that has taken all of the wind out of the sails here at Floyd Stadium. Just when you felt like the juice was starting to infatuate that Middle Tennessee sideline, fans starting to get into it, FIU with a quick strike.
And when your backup quarterback can come in and throw for 239 yards, 3 TDs, that's a great problem to have. And you just sensed it talking to Coach Simmons, talking to offensive coordinator Nick Coleman, just how calm, how relaxed they were, knowing that Joe Pizanski had to start this game today.
And again, Pizanski had played in 5 games earlier this season off the bench in different positions. Played all the fourth quarter last week against Missouri State, but he came into this game having 38 pass attempts. Completed 60% of them, had 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. But 3 touchdown passes tonight, 2 interceptions. But again, for an FIU offense that prides itself on its rushing attack with Keyshawn Owens and Anthony Carey as that number 2 option, Middle Tennessee's defense has done a great job of taking away FIU's running game. But then Pizanski doing the work through the air. How does Middle respond with 2:16 to go? Draw play for Vadiato, and not going to go anywhere. Read perfectly. Kenton Simmons was there. Johnny Chaney Jr. as well.
I think, like, as I prepared for this week, and you've seen how well the defense did last week against the nation's leading rusher, and you still lose, the weak point or the weakness of the MTSU defense is the pass defense. And so what happens is you stop the run, but you force the pass, and that's not your strong point. And we see that tonight on display.
Vadiato, quick throw on 2nd and 11. Cam Lacey just got there. before Mr. Clark was able to jump it. And again, another long throw from the opposite hash.
Yeah, you see Mr. Clark he's almost there. Him, Brian Blades, the second. They are reading, they are playing the three-step read, and they are driving, trying to get a pick six.
Ricky Hunt Jr. in the backfield for middle. Here on 3rd and 5. Vadiano over the middle, just behind Cam Lacey, and Clark might have got a fingertip on it, but now it's 4th down, and the offense coming off the field. And the punting unit back on.
And it wasn't Nick's best throw, but anytime the ball hits you on one of your numbers, the expectation is for you to come down with the catch.
Here comes the rush. It's a fake. Check down. Open receiver. He's got the first down. And I believe that's Diari McDonald, the backup cornerback. FIU brought the pressure. But Ashton Logan, the punter.
And I think we might get a challenge here.
Completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
So I'm assuming they're looking to see if that ball hit the turf.
It was almost like a shot put, but it got there.
Yeah, it got there, yeah. I'm assuming that Ashton Logan was not a high school quarterback.
I don't know.
And I think he's going to be able to say that he
hey, 1 for 1 with the first down. Yeah, that's all that matters.
QBR amazing right now. Might be the best in the nation.
Oh, yeah. Oh, stayed off the turf. Yeah, come on.
Diari McDonald certainly thinks that he was able to scoop it up off the turf, as we'll work on getting a replay for you. Officials next door taking a look. But what a huge conversion.
Definitely a huge conversion. And it just, once again, lets you know the mentality that Coach Mason has these last 4 games. Like, they are here to spoil it. This might be our best view. Oh.
A little closer than I thought. I tell you what, from that angle right there. Yep.
First down, FIU at the 29-yard line.
Did you see a bounce? I feel like I saw a bounce a little bit.
I did too, yeah. At least a good portion of that football hit the turf. As we get one more look from the Jumbotron here at Floyd Stadium. Couldn't really tell from that angle from the Jumbotron, but from the angle that we just showed you, I think that's probably the best angle. And I think the overturn was the right call.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes back to the throw, though. You know, where the throw has to be an over-the-top throw, so the ball has the opportunity to travel a little further and not go straight nosedive.
Pazanski throwing on first down, takes a shot for the end zone. Coming back for it is McNeil. Incomplete. Pazanski taking a hit as he threw it. And how about offensive coordinator Nick Coleman coming back to where he played college ball, airing the ball out.
Airing the ball out is correct. He doesn't care if P1, Jenkins in, Joe Pazanski, or even myself. He is dialing up the passes, RPOs, whatever it takes to get closer to becoming bowl eligible.
2nd down and 10, 40 seconds left, 3rd quarter. Handoff up the middle, lot of room. And that's the first carry tonight for Devontae Lyons, the redshirt freshman from St. Augustine, Florida. His first carry of the evening.
And that's what makes this FIU offense so hard to stop.
They work quickly. not a lot of room on that run for Lions.
And it just puts MTSU's defense and defensive coordinator, Coach Stewart, in a tough position. Do you stack the box to stop the run, but then you become more susceptible in the passing game?
So that'll do it for the third quarter. FIU outscores Middle 13-7. They're up by 10, and they're knocking on the door for more. The annual Salute to Veterans, Salute to Service Day here at Middle Tennessee. All of the veterans in attendance being honored today at halftime. One of the great traditions here in Murfreesboro. Parade of veterans across the turf. Veterans Day coming up on Monday. Pazanski throwing on second and 9, I should say. Had that one tipped at the line. Was looking for Devontae Lyons. We just have not seen a lot of Keyshawn Owens in this ball game. Normally he's getting upwards 20, 25 carries. He's at 13 right now, but Middle has done a nice job of keeping the entire running attack for FIU in check. Just 76 yards on the ground for FIU. Again, this is a team that averages almost 190 yards per game on the ground. Third down and 9 for Pazanski. Inside the Blue Raider red zone. Pazanski across the middle in the end zone. Tipped and dropped. Going upstairs to try to make the catch was Kyle McNeil. And now that'll bring up fourth down. And Noah Grant out for the field goal attempt.
And that was a laser right there. Should have been caught by McNeil. But what a great throw once again by Joe Pazanski. Making the right decision with the ball.
Will be about a 35-yard attempt for Grant. He is 7 of 10 so far this year. Snap, hold, kick. Got it. So Middle Tennessee able to hold FIU to a field goal after the fake punt pass attempt was ruled incomplete after a review. But it's still a 2-score game for Middle Tennessee as we have just started this fourth quarter.
And yes, you could have had a touchdown right there via FIU, but once again, you add more points on the board. Very efficient, very effective drive, though, for FIU Panthers, man. And just want to give a special shout out, talk about the veterans, man. My dad, Robert Perry, man, Army veteran. So salute to you, Dad. Appreciate your service, man.
Get all of ESPN college football all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my paps as well. Korean veteran, was in Korea in the early 60s. Very, very proud of his service. Wears his Korean veteran hat wherever he goes, as he should. You know, he's watching back home in Indy. As this kick will go to the 5-yard line and be returned. Gaston. Man, this FIU special teams coverage has been excellent all night.
All night long, led by the special teams coordinator, Kenneth Gilstrap, a former Blue Raider player, as well as the coach, my locker mate, man. Great conversations with him. But yes, he's having this special teams balling all night long. Last week, they got a block punt. So, man, he is doing what he's supposed to do as the special teams coordinator, and we see that on display tonight.
Yeah, when we talked to Willie Simmons earlier this week and talked about his experience here in Middle Tennessee, and just, you know, how did it go, basically, he just kind of laughed. He said all the fun that he had with all the guys that were on the staff, all the young guys that were on that staff. As Vadiato sails one, it's picked off by Brian Blades the second, returning it the other way, spinning inside the 20, and oh, what a back-breaking turnover for Middle Tennessee.
And Nick Badiato has been playing amazing all night. But I know he wished he could have that throw back right there.
He just sailed it. Looking for Miles Butler, and offenses have been scheming around Brian Blades all season long. That is his first interception this season, as there's an injured Blue Raider down on the field. Cannot tell who it is, but training staff working on that left leg. Brian Blades returned that ball to the 18-yard line, and that's where FIU will take over with 14:26 left. And we will catch you on the other side of the break.
Well, yeah, I'll be right there.
It takes all of us to power a community, both in plain sight and behind the scenes. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Here's a twist on your typical banking options. What if instead of choosing between a big bank or a small bank, you had one bank that's the best of both? That's First Horizon. Big bank muscle with small bank hustle. Big bank convenience and small bank connection. When the best of big meets the best of small, you get it all. to help you on the road to your horizon. First Horizon Bank.
Window World is a local family business that proudly supports our community. We're your neighbors living in the towns you call home.
We attend the same schools, local restaurants, and grocery stores.
We proudly support our military, first responders, and St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
We're local professionals and craftsmen dedicated to creating curb appeal and energy savings one local home at a time.
We are Window World, supporting your community because it's our community.
It's our time to fulfill a destiny. It's our time to prove them wrong. It's our time to build a legacy and show them that we belong. From the moment we step on the field, gonna show we're made of steel. 'Cause we are tough, we are brave, we will rise through the pain. And we are wild, we are play, we are everything you ain't. Here we are.
Brian Blades, his second career interception, returns this one all the way back to the 18-yard line for FIU. First interception tonight from Vadiato, and now FIU trying to put this thing away here in the fourth quarter. They lead by 13. Handoff on first down is Anthony Carey. And again, Keyshawn Owens not on the field, and he's played sparingly here tonight. The #1 rusher in Conference USA. Also knocking on the door of the FIU single season rushing record. Came into the game just 272 yards shy of that mark. FIU taking their time here on 2nd and 10. Read play. Pazanski over the middle, caught, touchdown. Alex Perry's second touchdown catch tonight. And cool Joe Pazanski trying to send the Panthers back to South Beach with a dub.
And the play calling has been immaculate for offensive coordinator Nick Coleman right there. RPO, knowing that they had a one-on-one matchup on the outside. Nice slant slash skinny post route. And Alex Perry shows you that he can take a hit. He gets into the end zone, man. This FIU offense has been playing amazing. Even when their best player is not dominant tonight.
Yeah.
Still finding ways to be productive.
Without their starting quarterback.
Without their starting quarterback. Putting up 43 points tonight. So you have to be elated if you're Coach Willie Simmons and how your team is playing.
And again, the Middle Tennessee defense has not played poorly tonight. They've just been put in terrible positions after 3 Middle Tennessee turnovers. Pazanski over the middle has that knocked away. Looking for Kyle McNeil, but all 3 Middle Tennessee turnovers have resulted in short field, very short fields, like already in the red zone short fields for FIU's offense.
Yeah, I think that, you know, it's not just about turnovers. It's when you have turnovers and where you have turnovers. And like you said, all 3 have been basically in their own territory, and FIU hasn't had much to do after getting the turnovers. It's just, hey, get a couple first downs and you're in the end zone. And I think, man, the struggle for MTSU when you talk about their defense is that when you come into a game, you know, hey, we got to stop the run. We have to win up front. And that's what they've been doing, especially the last 2 games. But when your weakness of your defense is the passing defense, then you're forcing teams to target your weakness, and that's what we've been seeing, and that's how we've been seeing the Blue Raiders continue to get exposed on the back end, because that is not a strength for them this season.
So Alex Perry has 3 touchdown catches in the last 2 games. He had 3 touchdown catches in his entire 3-year career at Hawaii. So Perry, the favorite target of both Joe Pazanski and Kewan Jenkins this season. He is the #1 target for FIU this year. There's a look at Shotgun Willie Simmons, that nickname he earned as a quarterback at Clemson. There's a look at his coaching timeline. Started from the bottom at Lincoln High School. Quarterback coach, passing coordinator, worked his way up, spent a long time here at Middle Tennessee. And that's where he said that he learned, where he knew that he wanted to be a head coach and also learned how to operate a program. Had 2 stops as a starting quarterback in the SWAC as Roman Gagliano is in. And he takes off running and is stopped at the 30. So looking down on the sideline to see if Gagliano is getting worked on at all or if this is just a, nope. No, he's got his helmet off. He's just standing on the sideline. Looks like this is just an opportunity to see what Middle Tennessee has and Roman Gagliano try and jumpstart this offense. To throw, second and medium, hit as he throws. It's a duck, and it will luckily land safely on the turf.
Yeah, I did what you did. I looked to see if Nick was injured because I get it. I see the score. I see the interception, the overthrow in the last possession, but I don't get the taking Nick Gagliano when he's your leader and he's been playing well all game. And the other 2 turnovers was not him or his fault. So that's very interesting on being taken out of the game because you threw 1 interception. I got to think that it might be more, but we'll see.
3rd down, 7. Gagliano across the middle finds his target, Landon Collins, who's been seeing a lot of action tonight. So now it's 4th down and called along 3. Offense will stay on the field at this point. Why not? You need points, and you need them quickly. Down by 19. FIU loading up the box at the line of scrimmage. Bringing pressure. Gagliano gets rid of it quickly out of the backfield. It's a running back, but he's going to be short. It's Ricky Hunt Jr. Middle needed 3. They got about 1.5. Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark indeed. Open field tackle to force the turnover on downs. FIU takes over, 12-10 to go. FIU with a season high 43 points, 20 of those points coming off 3 Middle Tennessee turnovers that set up FIU inside the Blue Raider red zone. And FIU cashing in on all 3 of those with touchdowns. So they leave 43-24, 12-10 to go. After Middle Tennessee went for it on 4th and short, didn't get it as Kejon Owens with the carry. And Kejon Owens has been in this FIU program for 6 years, was originally recruited by Butch Davis. So he's on his 3rd head coach in his FIU tenure. And when the coaching staff, when Willie Simmons' coaching staff came in this offseason, they were looking at the tape of Owens, and they came away with a new mantra: Owens to the league. Thinking, why was this guy platooning for the last 2 years? He is legit every down back. This guy needs to be in the NFL. He needs to be playing on Sundays. And there he goes. Right on cue. Owens to the league, Owens to the house.
Owens to the crib, no detours right there. FIU offense piloted it on. What a great performance by these Panthers tonight. And man, I think he heard you, man.
I think he did.
A speaker in his helmet. It just shows his ability sidestepping defenders, and then his speed to get to pay dirt right here. Sidestepping, and then deuces to you. Meet you at the crib.
Second touchdown tonight for Owens. This time 32 yards out, and that's actually the name of the game when it comes to FIU's offense, is explosive running plays. Kazansky rolling for the 2-point conversion, back across his body, and Alex Perry couldn't haul it in, but FIU exploding here in the second half, outscoring Middle Tennessee 28-7 here in the second half. And we still have almost 12 minutes or 11 minutes and 15 seconds left here in the 4th quarter, and just the momentum swings in this ball game. FIU comes out of the second half with a touchdown drive. Middle Tennessee responds. FIU takes less than a minute to score, and from that moment on, it's just the FIU took all the juice away from Middle Tennessee.
And this has been a trend. When you face the Blue Raiders, you look at Marshall, they gave up 21 points in the 4th quarter. You look up last week against Jack State, they give up 17 points in the 4th quarter. And just like you said, FIU has just been on this run of points, unanswered points, uninterrupted scores. And so as the Blue Raiders, you just have to be able to learn how to take a punch and give a punch. And right now they don't have the firepower to do so. And we've seen that all season long, that they have not put a complete game together, all 4 quarters.
So Middle will start on their own 25-yard line. On the far hash, and it's Roman Gagliano again that is going to be running the show for his second drive. Again, no word on why Nick Vattiato was pulled to start the last drive after the interception. Gagliano far sideline, and that goes right through the 5-hole of Najee Cox.
Yeah, I think it's just, just a frustrating night for the Blue Raiders. It starts off well, they're playing well, then you have 2 turnovers, and then now it seems like the defense can't come up with a stop. Just a tough night for the Blue Raiders thus far.
Second down and 10. Gagliano stepping up in the pocket, got rid of it as he was hit. Chaney was in on the coverage. for Tavion Galloway. But again, this FIU front seven, they don't get home a lot. They don't put up a lot of sack numbers. They have a couple tonight, but they do a good job of putting pressure on quarterbacks.
Yes, and then the thing is, their secondary, they're averaging like almost one interception per game. So you see where the pressure picks come in hand. They might not get home, but they're forcing errant throws, and they got playmakers on the back end.
Gagliano unleashing a pass, and it'll hit the turf incomplete on 4th and 10.
And you can just see how disciplined. You talk about the corners being coached by Anthony Gator. You talk about the safeties being coached by Kenneth Gilstrap. A lot of experience in the coaches, great players, and then also now great coaches. Like I say, Anthony Gator played in the NFL as well. Gilstrap got some experience in the NFL as well. And you can just see it trickling down to the players and the DBs and how they are playing very, very sound from the secondary position.
So Ashton Logan out to punt again. Middle takes the delay of game, moves back 5 more yards as McGuire Anderson is back. FIU bringing pressure. And McGuire Anderson run into by his own player. Big collision. But that punt is down. Let's take a look at the FIU drive chart. This is just the second half. 4 touchdowns and a field goal. And just the 1 interception. But Middle Tennessee just not able to hang on to any sort of momentum that they had picked up from that turnover, because they themselves keep turning the ball over.
You're right, and the thing is, man, they don't have enough firepower offensively to be able to turn the ball over and still come out and put points, or be behind the sticks and still, create explosive plays. They have to play ahead of the sticks, play on schedule, play on time in order to win.
Owens on the handoff picks up a couple before being shoestring tackled. Excuse me, that's Carey, actually.
And the thing is, it's so much time left in the game that I don't even see FIU just running the ball. Like they're probably still trying to score points. I mean, Willie Simmons, nicknamed Shotgun Willie, he likes to throw it all over the yard. Nick Coleman, former quarterback, he likes to put up points. So I can just still see them going for this 50-burger here.
Yeah, and why not? You're trying to build a culture in year one. You're trying to get your guys invested in the second half of the season. You're sitting at 3-5. You need 3 more wins to get to a bowl. This handoff is going nowhere. Good push up front. Anthony Carey had nowhere to run, but a late flag coming in from that FIU sideline. But yeah, no, you take the wins where you get them and you build off of them, especially in game. If you get a chance to put up 50 points on a conference rival on the road, you do it.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
And just the conversation we had with Coach Mason, where it was almost like he was in disbelief about some of the plays and the penalty his team has acquired over the season. And so here you go, FIU just running the ball, trying to basically, hey, let's play the game out, and you help them out with the face mask towards the end of the play, giving them a new set of downs. And now it's almost like, well, FIU, you're in great territory. You might as well go ahead and try to get a touchdown now.
Didn't get a number on the face mask offender, but handoff up the middle. Anthony Carey, he breaks free, cuts back. Anthony Carey pouring it on. And FIU just taking the heart right out of Middle Tennessee.
think I just seen my first ever dunk in college football. It was an assist to the lineman who dunked it, and that's why we see the rattling of the field goal post. Hopefully we can get a replay of that, man. Big penalty, though, coming up.
I don't hate it.
I don't hate it either.
I don't hate it.
College football, you having fun.
Really on the field is a touchdown. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense, number 65. The 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the try, on the kickoff. We'll play for try.
And that is Julius Pierce, who started his career at FIU for a couple of years, played at Middle Tennessee last year.
And just feeling good, man. Anytime you play your former team, you definitely want to make a statement. And, you know, this right here, 55-24.
Julius went back home to Florida, South Florida, finished his career at FIU. And he is going to leave with an exclamation point here tonight as Middle Tennessee struggling here at home. Anthony Carey has his 4th touchdown carry of this season, 29 yards to put this thing on ice for FIU. They lead 56-24, 22 unanswered points here in the 4th quarter, 35-7. They have outscored Middle Tennessee here in the second half. Fourth quarters have been the arch nemesis of Middle Tennessee this season. Mentioned at the top of the broadcast, just they've had leads in the 4th quarter that they've given away with penalties, turnovers, not being able to convert on 3rd and short. Here it's just a little bit of everything. Mostly turnovers, but here's a nice return down the sideline and into FIU territory. Juwan Gaston still fighting hard out there for Middle.
Great return right there by Gaston, setting up MTSU offense in great field position, giving them a great opportunity to be able to put some points up.
And our Justin Beasley reporting that starting tackle Jacob Otts leaving on crutches. He was hurt after that Nick Vadiato interception earlier in the half. Handoff to Ricky Hunt Jr. going nowhere. Dante Anderson, another Miami kid, making the play behind the line of scrimmage. And I thought it was interesting in talking to Willie Simmons this week, talking about, you know, everybody wants to recruit South Florida. It's no longer, it's not the 80s and the 90s anymore where kids just stay home. They kind of go everywhere. He was talking about recruiting the guys that have already gone somewhere and then finding them in the portal and be like, hey, why don't you come on back home?
Yeah, I think it's a very, very smart and intelligent recruiting strategy, because a lot of times players do go off to bigger Power 4 schools, but then they want to come back home, and then you can be that place where they can play D1 football and be closer to home.
Gagliano sidestepping the rush, rolling towards the sideline, finds a receiver and pushed out of bounds by Ashton Levels is Landon Collins. And it's not like, you know, like Louisiana where LSU is kind of the monolith there. Florida, you know, Florida State, Florida, Miami, but then you also have the FAUs, the FIUs, Central Florida, Southern Florida. Yeah. So everybody is recruiting from the same pile of players, so why not, you know, pick up a few on the second time around? Gagliano towards the end zone, receivers and defensive backs tussling towards the goal line, no flag.
And I think a lot of times, too, where even like with what Coach Simmons is saying, a lot, like you see a 5-star, 4-star player, right? You say, well, there's no chance that they can come to my school, but you still should offer them, because if they go up to the Power 4 school and then it doesn't work, they'll think about, okay, who showed me love?
You have that relationship.
Who recruited me when, you know, when I was coming out of high school, and then now you have a relationship. Now you can get them to your school. So I think it's just a great recruiting strategy by Coach Simmons.
4th and 4, Gagliano on the rollout, throwing across his body, it's intercepted.
We'll see at the end. Normally they say tie goes to the runner.
It looked like Bobby Salad Jr. jumped the passing lane for the interception. At least from our angle up here in the booth, but Middle Tennessee's offense stays on the field. Wow. So I guess it's a completion to Miles Butler. So he ripped it away from Salad somehow. And this play is blown dead.
Completed catch. The previous play is under further review.
All right, here we go.
And this challenge is coming from FIU.
I did not hear it. It just said play under review.
Because if it's from FIU, I'm thinking, okay, they're trying to get the ball back, trying to put up some more points.
So they just showed the replay on the Jumbotron, and Bobby Salas certainly had it. You'll get a look here. Jumped the passing lane, had it on his shoulder pad, but then Miles Butler actually does wrestle it away from him.
Yeah.
As they hit the turf, or as they're going towards the turf.
That's where them Rice grips come in handy right there.
And I think that is a catch for Miles Butler.
For sure.
Just ripping it away.
The ruling on the field of a catch is upheld. First down.
Wow. Well, credit to Miles Butler. As you said, vice grips.
And that's something like we did in the weight room. I know when I was playing, at the end of every workout, you just go to the Rice bucket and just grab Rice, and that strengthens your forearms and your hands and fingers, and, you know, it pays off, like right there on that play.
First down and 10 for Middle. Gagliano to throw again. Gets his feet set. That is off the fingertips of Hunter Tipton and was almost picked off by Shamir Sterling. So second down and 10 for Middle on the 22-yard line. So now you kind of have to wonder, looking at the schedule, Middle's going to fall to 1-8. They're at Western Kentucky next Saturday, 2:30 kickoff. That's going to be a tough one. Western Kentucky trying to fight their way back to the top of the conference standings. Gagliano gets rocked And Najee Cox dropped the touchdown.
And Victor Evans, the third, in great coverage. Running stride for stride. But this is when you need your big-time players like Cox, your leading receiver, to come up big and make a play.
Percy Courtney Jr. was the one that delivered the hit on Gagliano. So 3rd down and 10 on the 22. Gagliano across the middle, fitting it into a tight window to Hunter Tipton. But so you go back on the road next week to Western Kentucky, and you're kind of wondering, is Derek Mason thinking, since we're in this situation, we're going to fall to 1-8. Do I need to see what I have coming back for next year in Roman Gagliano?
I think he could be thinking that, but I think Nick Vattiato has, one, been loyal to the program.
Yeah.
He did not leave when the coaching change occurred. He has been your second best offensive player and kept you in so many games. So I think you got to go with him, man. He's a senior. You got to let him ride it out.
Gagliano flushed out of the pocket, directing traffic, across his body in the end zone, and too tall for Miles Butler.
And so if that is Coach Mason's logic, I can see it like in this game. When he took him out, I didn't think at the time he should have took him out, but I can see it. Games got out of hand. You got almost a whole, fourth quarter left when you did put him in, so you get to see. But the rest of the season, I think you got to start Nick Vattiato. I think Nick has earned that right to finish his MTSU career starting.
Yeah, because when Nick came out of the ball game, the game was still in reach.
Yeah, for sure. I think it was, 3-score game at the time when he was taken out, which is a lot, but he's been playing well. And the only mistake he made was that interception at that time.
Talking with the staff at FIU, they mentioned how jovial Willie Simmons can be, and we talked about his good nature and his humor, and likes to have fun with the players. But as soon as that kickoff starts, he flips into coach mode, and it is nothing but intensity until that clock says zeros in the fourth quarter.
No, you're right, man. He's able, like they showed us, off the field, and I know it from personal experience, he's calm, cool, collected, jovial guy. But like you said, between the whistles, when they start that game, he's locked in. He's Coach Willie Simmons. He's shotgun Willie Simmons out there locked in, man, and trying to coach his team to victory like he's doing so far tonight.
So 2nd down and 12 for FIU. Devontae Lyons. Actually, this is Sterling Joseph, the freshman from Miami. All these kids are from Miami, man.
Yeah, man. Miami is great, but I got to go with Broward County. But at the end of the day, it's all South Florida, man. But yes, man, a lot of talent down there, and you see it. And that's why I think I forgot what year, but it was one year where everybody, all the mid-majors had like 10-plus wins. FIU, FAU, USF, UCF. So it's just so much talent down there, and especially at the skill position.
Yeah, Nick Vattiato from down around there as well. About 45 minutes between his high school and Kewan Jenkins High School. As that play, not a lot doing on 3rd down. FIU just trying to work as much clock as they can, trying to make sure as many guys get as much run as they can, as Jose Corvo, the redshirt senior from Cutler Bay, Florida, with his first touch tonight.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I think looking at Kewan Jenkins, no, he didn't play tonight, but man, he's a winner himself. I believe won about 3 to 4 state championships.
A legend in South Florida, all the way back in the days of youth football, even before.
And youth football is big down there in South Florida, man. But this would be a big victory just for FIU, getting one step closer to becoming bowl eligible in Coach Simmons' first year.
Another punt for Trey. Will Hoyt almost looks like a pass. as it'll send Juwan Gaston all the way back to the 30. And again, the coverage tonight from FIU special teams has been exceptional.
You're right, man. They have dominated in all three phases. Offensively, they have balled out, explosive plays. Defensively, made plays, interceptions, gotten pressure. And then on the special team, great coverage led by their special teams coordinator, Coach Kenneth Gilstrap, doing an amazing job down there at FIU. And FIU's done some great things, beat FAU, which they haven't done in years.
The Shula Bowl?
Yes, opportunity to become bowl eligible since 2018. Came up with a great road victory against WKU, so doing some great things in their first season.
Held Western Kentucky to 6 points as Gagliano wrapped up and brought down Dante Anderson, the transfer from Florida State.
It looked like an earhole face mask tackle, but
yeah, almost a horse collar, but that is legal in college football. Yeah, Willie Simmons spent quite a bit of time, 2 stops in the SWAC. Started at Prairie View A&M and then moved over to Florida A&M. Turned both of those programs around, went 34-5 in SWAC MEAC play.
You're right, man. Got an HBCU national championship just a couple years ago before heading to Duke. And now at the helm of this FIU program.
Gagliano to throw, running out of time, and was looking for Landon Collins.
That was great coverage right there by Preston Thompson.
So we will step aside for the 2-minute timeout. All Panthers all night, 56-24. Time now for our Ford Player of the Game. Joe Poznansky getting the start tonight for the injured Kewan Jenkins, and he was outstanding tonight. 257 yards, a rushing touchdown, and 4 passing touchdowns tonight. for Joe Poznansky, the transfer from Holy Cross, with a career night coming off the bench for the Panthers. And now Willie Simmons might have a decision to make going forward for the rest of the year. Kewan Jenkins not having the best of years after coming off a really impressive year a season ago, was actually the Conference USA preseason player of the year. But it started to slip up a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Mentioned he had the groin injury that sat him out for the fourth quarter last week. But with bowl eligibility on the line in his first season, Coach Simmons might have a tough decision to make.
Yeah, I think so, man, because especially when you talk about a groin injury to a dual threat quarterback, if you don't have your legs and you're a dual threat, then now you are simply a pocket passer. And I just think that when you look at Joe Poznansky's, man, how he just balled out, I think you got to play him next game, especially if Kewan is still hindered with the groin injury.
Yeah. And FIU will take a knee. 1:45 to go. Leading by 32.
And I think it might be a conversation, because I looked down to check his Kewan. He is a junior, so it's not like it's his senior year where it's like, hey man, no, you are started for the last 3 years. We're gonna let you close it out. So it might be a conversation where they say, hey man, we want to let you rest up, but we think Joe Poznansky might give us the best chance to win the rest of the way.
And taking the snaps and the kneels is number 17, Zachary Waters, quarterback from Boca Raton.
I'm not going to take it to the grave with me. There's no use. Absolutely makes no sense.
So Middle Tennessee will drop to 1-8. They have dropped 6 in a row, and I don't know if it's back to the drawing board this late in the season. It's at this point it's almost like, okay, how do I keep my players invested for the rest of the season?
No, you're right, and I think Coach Mason talked about it. He talked about how they had the team gathering after the last game before watching any film, just to keep the bond, to build the relational, make sure the relational piece is intact. But as you see, still, as a team, they're still not getting it done. They're still not playing well in all 3 phases. So, like to what you're saying, I don't know what's the correction.
Yeah.
You're not one play away, and then out of all the games, you still haven't played an entire complete game in all 3 phases. They played well in spurts offensively, but the defense will let them down. Defense plays well, offense will let them down. Special teams will let them down. But things like that happen when you're not having a good season as a team.
And this will be the first win for FIU in this building since 2011. It's a 6-game losing streak in Murfreesboro. You got to remember that these two teams were both in the Sun Belt together for quite a while and then jumped to Conference USA together back in 2013. So this is actually the second longest or most tenured game on FIU's schedule every year outside of FAU.
And that's amazing, man. Just how long, just thinking about when they became D1.
I was going to say, they've only been around for 22 years.
D1, and then you think about just playing them every year. Great battles with them as a former player with the Blue Raiders as well.
End around to Kenny Williams for his first touch. Middle will burn their final timeout and force a punt with 1:04 to go. And yeah, this is the 21st meeting all time between these two teams. They've played every year since 05. Middle is 9-1 in this building against FIU. That is obviously going to change after tonight. And this will be the second win in a row in this series, in which Middle Tennessee actually had won 5 straight before last year when FIU won at the South Dade Kia Field at Pitbull Stadium.
Hey, did you see the Miami Vice jerseys though?
Yeah, those are pretty slick.
Yeah,
those are pretty
nice,
slick.
Man.
So they're kind of going full Oregon this year. They are the only college football team this year that is going to have a different uniform setup for every single game this year. And a great tackle on the punt. Again, the coverage tonight, insane. This time, Victor Evans laying out Jawan Gaston. And it has just been that kind of night for FIU, dominating at all three facets of the game.
And so, man, you dropped a nugget right there when you talk about the uniform changes, man. And I got to shout out my childhood friend, Donald Reed, who is their head equipment manager. So I got to think that he plays a part in the jersey swaps, man. So I got to, you know, I got to congratulate him on that, man. That's a great honor to have. I believe so, as an equipment manager.
Gagliano launching deep over the middle and a catch. Cam Lacey in stride. Touchdown. First career touchdown pass for Roman Gagliano is a dime to Cam Lacey.
And what a great job by Roman right there. Under pressure a little bit, but being able to drop it on a dime to Cam Lacey. Still playing to the end, and that's what you want to see out of your team. Never quitting, playing to the end. Still time left as far as to still be able to execute plays and make plays. This still could go on the highlight film.
60 yards.
For sure.
This is the first time since week 1 of last season that Middle Tennessee has scored 30 points in a ballgame.
And so that's the thing. You see good things, but then it's in a loss.
Gagliano for the 2-point conversion, trying to stay upright, and finally brought down. The finishing touches from Dante Anderson.
I think if you would have asked Coach Mason, man, you scored 30 points tonight, what are your chances? Right?
Probably pretty good, right?
Pretty good. So it's just, I think that's what's been so frustrating for Coach Mason and Blue Raider fans is where you see the improvement in areas, but then it gets canceled out because of mistakes and the other things that go bad in the game. You score 30, but you give up 56, right? So it's hard to see the growth.
I don't think Willie Simmons has had his headset on for the entire fourth quarter. At least not for the last 7 or 8 minutes of actual time.
And I think, man, just as a head coach, a lot of times, man, you're just out there managing. You trust the people you put in position. You put Nick Coleman in charge of your offense. You got the former player he recruited and coaching, Kenneth Gilstrap, over special teams, and Coach DeWitt as defensive coordinator. And you just let them call the game and orchestrate the game.
Middle with the onside kick attempt. FIU will recover. FIU 403 total yards tonight, 256 of those, 57 of those in the air coming from Joe Pazanski. Career night for him, making his first start at the FBS level. And certainly a night that he will never forget. Hopes to be a college football coach once his playing days are done. So complete domination in the second half from FIU, exploding for 35 second half points to dominate Middle Tennessee on their own home turf, as FIU picks up win number 4. As they are 4-5, 2-3 in conference play, and Middle Tennessee drops to 1-8 and 0-5 in conference play.
And I think you mentioned the halftime, and halftime is about adjustments. and FIU made the better adjustments. They seen what they had to do on defense and on offense, and they came out in the second half, executed and dominated, just like Coach Willie Simmons said that his team had to do. So congrats to Coach Simmons and FIU, one step closer to becoming bowl eligible in his first season at the helm.
And this is career win number 70 for Willie Simmons between his time at Prairie View and FAMU, and now here at FIU. As Justin Beasley is with the winning coach, Willie Simmons.
Coach, a dominant win, 56 points on the road, on the board tonight. Got to bring a smile to your face.
Yeah, man, I thought the guys came out at halftime and really accepted the challenge. We just talked about, playing harder and smarter and made some big plays in the second half. Defense really stood up. So, great win. Got a lot more football left to play, though.
What did you like the most tonight?
Well, again, I thought Joe Pazanski got the call at the last minute. We didn't know until right before kickoff that lights couldn't go. And for him to step in and lead us to 56 points was a testament to him, his preparation. But also defense, great turnovers. Again, just getting the ball back to the offense and getting us in a rhythm.
Your sideline, the broadcast booth, we all loved the dunk after the touchdown. Did you?
No. I'm sure the defense didn't either with them getting the ball at the 50-yard line. So Julius Pierce played it last year, and I think that was his one last effort in Johnny Red Floyd Stadium. So he'll pay for it tomorrow, but after a win like this, the kids are going to be kids.
What's he going to pay for? Tell us.
That 15-yard, that's personal foul. So, again, it's not outstanding, but, big win. It stings a little bit less. But again, with him having played here and transferring back home, coming here on a big road win, I know it means a lot to him.
Congrats, Coach. Win number 70 of your career. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Jake, back to you.
Thank you, JB, and thank you, Coach. Take it easy on Julius.
Yeah, he's definitely probably going to run some 110s tomorrow, but it was worth it, though. It was worth it. It was on a field. He got proposed on. Well, he proposed and played for some years, man, but definitely it's always good to come back and beat your former team.
There's the final stats for tonight. FIU just absolutely dominant in the second half. This was a 21-17 game at halftime, but FIU just absolutely rolling in the second half. 35 second half points, and again, it comes down to turnovers for Middle Tennessee, and FIU putting crooked numbers on the board from those turnovers. Jeremy, final thoughts from tonight?
Just a great job by the FIU Panthers, man. I'm very impressed with Joe Pazanski, the whole team, man, and just very excited for Coach Simmons and FIU program in his first season and have an opportunity to be bowl eligible.
For Jeremy Kellum and Justin Beasley, I'm Jake Rose saying so long from Floyd Stadium here in Murfreesboro, where the final score tonight is FIU 56, Middle Tennessee 30. This has been a Media Arts student production from Middle Tennessee State University. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN from the Borough. We'll catch you next time.